Hey kids, you're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast.
Prepare for the SML Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is the SML Podcast. I am your host, Joe. Joining as usual, Aki's here, Bri's here, Jacob's here. How are you three doing?
I just got back from New York at like 1 o'clock in the morning last night. So I'm happy to be home. I have to leave again tomorrow afternoon for the whole weekend. So I'm a little stressed.
Where are you going this weekend?
I have a project I've been working on with a friend for like 4 years, and it's coming to a head. It's for the medieval organization. And we have to present his research. So I'm helping him work on his project, get everything tightened up before the presentation. So, yeah.
Does your project involve launching any things at high speed?
It does not actually. The project is
then.
about medieval pig butchery and how to make sausage.
I mean, you could fire it out of a trebuchet.
It's basically all the steps to make sausage from the pig to the plate. And you know the phrase like you don't always want to know how the sausage is made. Well, we tell you how the sausage is made.
Jacob, how are things going in your neck of the woods?
I mean, okay, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm tired, even though like I had like an entire month off from this thing.
You're old. It's expected.
I mean, I did just turn 40. However, I also tried to burn the last of my PTO back in January. And so I had 4 days off from work, 2 days 1 week, 2 days another week. And so that first week, my kids got sick. So I had to take care of them the whole time. And then the second week, can you guess what happened?
You got sick.
You got sick.
I got sick.
What?
And so, yeah, so I'm just tired and I don't feel like doing anything ever.
Well, good, because we have a guest joining us this week.
Yay!
Mike Robles is on the show. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic, and thank you for saying my name right. Not a lot of people do. I've said it enough times in the various spaces you've seen me in that you would be able to say it right.
I had to go back and watch a couple interviews just to make sure. Because
Wait,
most people say Robles, right?
Oh, all the time. All the time.
I was just going to call him Roblox.
Roblox works too, I guess. So welcome
What
to
interviews did you
Roblox
watch?
with Robles.
I know. I didn't know I had interviews.
Sorry.
I was wondering what interviews. I didn't realize I had interviews out there still.
Oh God, I don't even remember. I just searched your name and found something, and he talks in this one. He introduces himself. Good. Let me rewind it. Let me rewind it. Like the Zapruder films or something. Just like zoomed in on those. But how are you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm all right, thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm doing all right. We've had some wild snow here in Washington, so the snow days have caused school closures. So my kid's been home more days than not this week, and it's just throwing my entire schedule out of whack. So other than that, I'm doing just fine.
Yeah,
What's
my kids
considered a snow day out there?
If the roads are considered icy and hazardous, they'll start with a 2-hour delay. I think it was Wednesday we had a 2-hour delay, and about an hour and a half later we got another phone call, and it was like the schools are closed, which was a bummer because school starts at like 8:40. I think by 10:30 all the snow had melted at that point. And I was just like, come on. But today, I think last night we had about 3 or 4 inches, and they were closed all day, which like today makes sense. Today makes sense. The other 2 days they've had it this week, the snow melted very fast.
Jacob, what was your question going to be before I rudely interrupted you?
Oh, I was just saying my kids had off from school too, so And today, like, they tried doing like a remote only day, and that was just complete hell. I mean, like, I don't know who the heck thought it would be good to do like a remote day for first graders. Like,
That sounds amazing.
Just let them do nothing. Like, for the love of God, just everyone.
They
just
don't have the attention span for
everyone. Everyone just pretend. Like, we'll all we will all lie to the state of Pennsylvania together that everyone was educated today. Like, nobody's gonna fight this one. Like,
but they'll get credit for the day, right? See, here what
that's
happens.
What I'm saying.
Yeah. So if we have snow days, they get these days tacked on to the end of the year. So currently, his last day is supposed to be a Wednesday. So Wednesday, June 18th would be his last day. And then they're going to have Thursday, June 19th off because that's Juneteenth. They'll go back to school that Friday now, the 20th, and then 1 or 2 days that following week, which is just going to throw everything off.
Oh, God.
It's ridiculous.
I've never fully understand why they do that. Like, I understand you need to get through it, but missing a day or two shouldn't put you realistically.
I think it's some kind of legal requirement where the kids have to attend X number of days to be considered like to count, I guess.
Yeah, it was already going to be bad that we're going to go to school Wednesday, have a Thursday off, and then do an early release. So they would have gotten out at like noon on that Friday. Like, that would just throw them all off. But now they have to do that, have a full day Wednesday, day off, full day Friday, maybe a half day that Monday or Tuesday, depending on if they close this down for another day tomorrow. It's wild.
Depends on how much more snow you get.
None. I need no more. I got plans. I have plans this weekend. So here's the thing. Those that know, like, I have my kid Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then we have family day. And depending on how the day goes, I either have them Sunday night or I don't. So I have a sitter for this weekend, and I have like 3 different things I'm doing all on the same day. I'm getting all my partying on, starting at like 2 p.m. So I need the snow to be gone, so I can go out and be sociable.
Yeah. See, at my school, if we.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
The joys of podcasting.
Okay. I guess I shall go first. Back when I went to school, we used to get days tacked on if we had too many snow days. I think we were allowed like 2 or 3, and then we started getting some at the end. But my family was always like, no, the end of the school year is on this day. If they decide it's going to go on, then you're sick. And I just didn't go. And then in high school, they did that on my last year, and I just skipped classes. I'd go there at the morning, and then I'd stay until lunch, and then I just left because I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, like those like senior days at high school where it's like the seniors literally have nothing to do, and they're just like, yeah, don't show up, otherwise we're just going to make you sit in the auditorium and like watch movies all day.
Yup.
Yeah, that was exactly it.
My parents were lame as crap, and they I was just like, Mom, just let me skip. And they're like, no, you have to go because like we don't want it like messing with your thing. So I had to go, and I was like one of like 20 kids out of a class of like 750, I think we had in our high school graduating class. Yeah. Like, we just had to sit there in the auditorium and watch like Jumanji and crap.
Yeah, what made me skip the last 3 days is we started watching Cats. And I decided I'm not interested in this, so I just...
Wait, hold on. Like, what, the Broadway production?
I think so. I didn't...
Okay, because I was going to say, like... I mean, if it was... Like,
I don't think the other one even
out, like, you're
yet.
A lot younger than I thought you were.
No. No, it was the Broadway musical movie that they made. It was
yeah, I have that on I had that on VHS. Yeah, I was like, eh.
I remember that one. It's a classic.
Yeah, so that day, because we started that right before lunch, I went to lunch and I was like, you know what? No. And I just left. And then every day, for the next couple of days, I'd go in, get counted for the first class, wait until lunch, and then I just left. Because none of the teachers cared. It wasn't like we were doing anything.
My area had like a week or 2 of snow days built into our schedule. So if we didn't use them, we would get out earlier in the year. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of years where we had too many snow days. The one year we went into like July, we were still going.
Woof.
Yeah, because there were so many missed days through the winter. And now because of global warming,
snow days are kind of alien to me. I grew up in Maine, like as a little kid, and then I moved to Florida. So in Maine, there's so much snow that they're like, yeah, no, it's you can still go to school. They don't care if there's like 4 feet of snow. But then I moved to Florida.
Yeah,
where
they understand how to drive.
Well, right, and in my current state, there's very rarely snow, but when it snows like an inch, the entire state shuts down because nobody knows what to do.
Yep.
Sometimes I kind of feel like that happens up here in Washington. And we're in Washington, where we're used to it. But like I said, like 2 days this week, the snow was gone. If they had just waited and done, because people can't drive in slush. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love the random coughs from AquaRun through this show.
Take a fucking cough drop. Jesus.
I was about to say, do you need a lozenge? Do we need to get you a lozenge?
Get a spot of tea.
Help. That wouldn't help.
What would help?
Having an entirely new stomach, throat.
I've got something acid, that can coat your throat.
No, ew.
That's it. That's the new goals. New stretch goals.
Oh, it'll be a stretch goal, all right.
Oh, Jesus.
Not that Tic Tac size thing, please.
Excuse me, that's the only one that's flaccid. Thank you very much. I'm a grower, not a shower.
I fucking hate this show. Why did we come back?
Because you were dumb enough to get us a bunch of games, and now look what you did. Now we have to review them.
Yeah, that's true. We do. But first, we got to talk about Mike. Mike, we've tried getting you on for years, but you've always had jobs in the industry that prevented you from joining. Now you're here. So what's up?
I mean, clearly I have no job now. That's what that means. But you were correct. I've been in the game industry for about 20 years now, and I've been doing community management and social media management for about 15. For those that know me, I originally started over at Wizards of the Coast, where I was the community manager for Magic the Gathering and Dungeons & Dragons, which was very fun. Imagine being brand new to the game and then going into the forums for D&D and being like, I'm Mike Robles, and I want to hear everything you don't like about D&D. Boy, was that a mistake.
You still have PTSD from that?
Yeah, sometimes.
There's only one thing people should dislike about D&D, and that's who owns it. Otherwise, it's perfectly fine.
It's fine. It's fun. You make it what you want. So I worked for there. I actually created the Magic the Gathering Twitter account. That's like my claim to fame for that. I was putting Magic on Twitter. And then I went over to Xbox for a while and did all kinds of things. I think I'm most notable for working on Killer Instinct for a really long time. And then
nice.
The Killer Instinct, I guess I should rephrase, Killer Instinct 2013. I know I'm old, but not that old. Which is wild to think that game is 10 years old at this point.
Yeah.
Wow, it is.
Or over 10, yeah. And then most recently, I was over at IllFonic, where we had made Ghostbuster Spirits Unleashed, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, re-released Predator Hunting Grounds, which we brought it to Xbox, which is super exciting. And unfortunately, in this gaming industry sort of ecosystem, we got caught up in layoffs, and so they cut quite a large member of staff, including me, my boss, and my immediate boss. Like, they cut out basically all middle players there, which was a huge bummer.
Wow, that's a lot of chopping away at once.
It really was. And so that happened 3 weeks before Christmas. Tis the season. And I've just sort of been getting back into streaming, applying for jobs, reaching out to people, trying to get back out there. But, because I've been so long in the gaming industry, it's definitely difficult because there's a lot of us that are looking for jobs, especially a lot of community managers looking for jobs. So it is a difficult pool to be swimming in. I started looking outside the gaming industry just to see what it would be like to do something maybe a little bit different.
Have any leads so far? Any positive signs?
I have one, but it's moving very slowly, but that's okay. But it's moving just slowly, and that's fine. I did have an interview with another company on Friday, and Monday afternoon, I got a phone call and they said, it's not a no, but they're changing the job description, changing the job title, and changing the job ID. And so apparently nobody they interviewed had the exact specifications they wanted. So they essentially like destroyed that job and created a fresh one to look for somebody much more tuned to their standards, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah.
That's it for now. Just keep applying. I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah, you just gotta focus on the future and stay positive and all that other, cheer, rah stuff.
Exactly.
It's just such a hard time for anything these days. And it doesn't look like the future's getting much brighter at points.
It's what they say, it's darkest before the dawn. you were emailing me, you're like, oh, we talk about gaming news. Is like, I am so swallowed by like literal every other news, and not by choice. I just happen to, social media just shoves news in my face. I was like, I've ignored gaming news recently, which has been funny because I'm usually right up on top of there. But it's been wild doom scrolling literally every day.
Well, let me tell you, the gaming sphere is getting kind of weird.
Again? So what else is new?
Do you want to talk news, or did you want to talk about you some more?
We talk whatever you want. I am easy. I don't know. I can talk about me all the time. I can give you a 2-hour show of just me.
I mean, we got time.
We have the time. Go for it.
I will eventually have to get my child dinner at some point. But yes,
excuses.
I know. And then, well, look, then I got to do my own stream at 8 o'clock tonight. So,
ooh, what are you streaming later tonight?
I'm going to play some more. I've been playing some TCG Card Shop Simulator, which has been very fun.
Nice.
And working in Magic the Gathering. And for a while, actually, my wife worked at a distribution company. So I've sort of learned some of the behind the scenes of what it's like for her to buy a product and then just sell product to a store, which has been really fun. So having that knowledge has been really fun playing this game. And then I think Epic had Who Wants to Be a Fifth Grader? Or Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Somebody play that tomorrow. Who Wants to Be a Fifth Grader? To be a totally different show. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll find out tomorrow night. We'll see.
Never played that one before?
No, I have not.
Oh.
I have not.
How do you think you're going to do? Have you watched the show?
I have. I did used to watch the show. I feel like I think I'm going to do well, and then I'll probably end up being very humbled.
You are probably correct, just based on what I've seen of that show. You are probably right.
Okay, great.
Jacob, didn't you play those games?
Yeah, I did.
And how'd you do?
I mean, I've done pretty well. Yeah. I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna lie. Usually, I crap out around 4th grade, but I mean, some of those questions are tougher than you'd think, and it's just and I'm just like, this is not crap that I ever learned in 5th or 6th grade. Like,
these kids have to be from private schools. I refuse to believe most kids.
This isn't something I learned until just now when this game taught me.
Well, yeah, on the actual
Exactly.
TV show, those kids are like, yeah, they're smarter than, like, they're answering questions beyond their own grade. Yeah, but
I can't wait. I can't wait to check that out. I don't know when I'm going to play that tonight or tomorrow, but I want to play some more TCG Card Shop Simulator because that's been fun. And then I'm always playing Fortnite and Rivals. Those are just sort of my go-to, shut my brain off, have some fun games.
Nice. I've been trying to get into Marvel Rivals. I'm doing okay with the Punisher. I don't know who else to try. Like, there's so many friggin' characters. I don't know who to try.
Yeah, there are
Jeff.
Oh, Jeff's fun.
Yeah, just eat the whole team.
There you go. I like Punisher a lot. I in the beta I played, I was getting really having a lot of fun with Magic, and then when they dropped Squirrel Girl, I was like, oh, let me check her out, and then I just clicked with her because I used to main Junkrat in Overwatch, so she's essentially Junkrat, and I was like, well, this is going to be easy, and so I've been playing as her for most of my games, unless they need support, in which case I'll be Rocket Raccoon.
Nice. My buddy Adam is like platinum level right now. He's so good at this friggin' game. he played Squirrel Girl. And are you familiar with the soundboard on Discord?
Yes.
Nut goes in the butt. That nut goes in the butt.
That's the fun stuff we get out of our wrestling Discord groups.
Oh man, you guys watch Rumble? Rumble was so good.
Oh, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't like Charlotte winning.
Fair. I as soon as she came out, I was like, bummer, she's gonna win. And I just knew they were gonna like push her forward again, which was a total bummer. I agree with you on that. I'd have liked to have seen Bailey have a second chance, or Liv Morgan, hell, even Alexa Bliss. But like, I knew as soon as Charlotte came back out, Charlotte. Yeah, anyone but Charlotte. Yeah, for reals. And I was like, man.
I was really hoping Jordan Grace would have won.
That would have been amazing.
Come in, debut, and win the Rumble.
That would have been awesome. I'm glad she's officially WWE now, because I thought she did an amazing job last time she was there in the Rumble. It's super cool.
What about you? What wrestling do you watch? Are you just a WWE guy? Do you watch the AEW stuff too?
I am solely WWE. I grew up on it, and then now that it is on Netflix, I can watch it a lot sooner or a lot faster. Because before, I would just watch the premium events because I have the Peacock subscription, which I loved. And then now that Raw I can watch weekly, I've been able to catch up a lot more. I usually get my Friday Night SmackDown news from Twitter. I don't know how it happened, maybe because I was tweeting about it a whole bunch one day, but eventually the algorithm started showing me SmackDown recaps. So I'm like, great. So I know I always had a base understanding of what was happening with enough to piece together the live events for the longest time. But now I got Raw once a week, which is awesome.
That fills in a lot of the blanks.
Yeah.
SmackDown's still kind of its own product sometimes.
Yeah. I'm definitely bummed that Bliss is going to SmackDown with the Wyatt Six because I want to see them on Raw.
Yeah. I'm surprised AJ's going to Raw. AJ Styles.
Yeah, right? But he is the phenomenal one.
Yeah. There's 3 other people on this call who are so confused and bored right now.
Confused, but
I don't know. Confused. Yeah. I get a lot of wrestling news because the algorithm. Don't ask me how it got there, but yeah.
I occasionally post wrestling memes to the SML podcast Facebook page, so that might be why.
That's all he does. It's just shit post on our Facebook page.
That's how you do it.
I post articles.
I mean, you let him, so
That's
it's really
I'm too
your
lazy
fault.
to.
fair.
Yeah, exactly. Me and my buddies, our Discord group watches AEW together every Wednesday and Saturday. So if you ever want to get into the AEW side of things, let me know. We'll sneak you in the Discord group. You could watch with us, and
That'd be fun. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I'm usually with my kiddo on Saturdays, but that'd be pretty fun. I know I get some AEW spoilers. I follow Darcy the Mail Girl from the Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, and she's a big AEW fan, so I always get spoilers from her on the social media sites.
nice. Well, since we're chatting about news, how about we dive into the news of the week? Because more than the week, news of the past few weeks since we've been off for a while.
I've been taking notes for weeks. Yeah.
I haven't been taking notes for weeks, but we're going to go over what I got first, and then we'll see what you could fill in the blanks with. But the big news, I think, the big shocker of the past month or so, Forza Horizon 5 is hitting the PlayStation 5 this spring.
I think that's rad. I like seeing Xbox putting their products on other platforms, right? They've done it with Switch. I saw one of the things I worked on when I was at Microsoft my last tenure before taking over the Xbox social media reactive team was I was the community manager for Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So I helped write the content and do the content and the launch plan for Ori and the Blind Forest coming to Nintendo Switch, which was super fun.
Awesome.
It was great. It was great to work with them. They were fantastic partners because I had to get stuff approved by Nintendo, and I think I like seeing and being able to play my games just about anywhere.
Yeah, Switch is an awesome little device. But yeah, PS5 getting Forza Horizon 5 in the spring. And then also this year, they're getting Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition and Age of Mythology Retold as well.
Nifty.
I mean, yeah, I honestly don't really have that much of a problem with it. I mean, I think exclusives kind of suck. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
the
it's
only
nice.
quote problem I have is, what are we getting out of this? Like, Sony's not giving anything to Xbox.
I mean,
it's just a one-way street.
I mean, yet, right? Like, I think there's a yet for that, and
I hope there's a yet for that. I would love to see it happen. See those walls come down completely.
I mean, we're getting Final Fantasy stuff.
That has nothing to do with Sony. That's Square.
I know, but
Square.
I'm fucking well aware what company makes them. However,
Jacob, that's a Square game. I don't know if you knew that, but that's not.
Jacob, it's Square, not Sony.
Jacob, it's Square.
However, for like the last 20, almost 30 years, Final Fantasy has been pretty much exclusively, I mean, not exclusively on Sony, but I mean, like, when you think Final Fantasy, you think Sony. So I mean,
1 through 6 were on Nintendo. When I think Final Fantasy, I think Nintendo.
God, you're so old.
The first Final Fantasy that I ever cared about was Final Fantasy VII, which, guess what? Does anybody know what console it was on?
Yes.
Originally on the N64. Then I got scrapped and moved to PlayStation.
What? I would have loved it.
Next time I'm coming up to your house, Joe, I'm punching you in the dick.
You could do that all you want. It doesn't change the fact that 6 other Final Fantasy games released on Nintendo platforms before that.
I mean, heck, if we want to get technical, that's just on consoles. We've also got the ones on Game Boy.
Which are technically Saga games, not Final Fantasy games, if you want to get into
actually, oh my god.
We are getting way too anal about this series. Jesus.
Goddamn right we are.
You would like it if Joe got anal about it.
I mean, you're the one going up there and fondling him.
What's wrong with butts?
You have a problem.
I mean, yeah, I do. I mean, have you ever been in the bathroom with me?
Thank God, no. What's your point?
I just wreck yours whenever I'm over there.
What's your point about Sony and Square?
I'm just saying, like, I mean, like you're looking at it as like, well, what exclusive Sony stuff are we getting out of this?
No, I'm asking what Sony titles we're getting. Not what exclusive games that Sony had. What games directly from Sony are we getting?
I mean, we get MLB The Show.
That's an MLB decision, not a Sony decision.
But it's a Sony games. Yeah,
that's the only one.
I will admit it was neat, like booting up my Xbox, seeing MLB The Show on Game Pass, and seeing Sony Games logo. I thought that was really neat. I think what we get, and essentially, is a bigger community. Right? There's already somebody that works in establishing and sorting communities. It's going to be neat to have more people playing. And more players is never a bad thing, in my opinion.
Oh, not at all, especially for the Age of Empires games.
Speaking of Sony and like bigger communities and stuff like that, you know what I miss? I miss Kevin Butler, like the character.
Oh, that guy was great.
That dude was amazing. Like he was essentially the ambassador of video games for like 3 odd years. Yeah, and then like. Oh, he showed up in a Geico ad holding a Wii controller, and Sony flipped shit over it.
Yeah,
so
I miss Crash Bandicoot as the mascot.
Yeah, those were good too.
Yeah, I wish Microsoft were more clear about what they're doing. Like, just be honest, be upfront, tell us everything. Don't be like saying, oh, we're going to test the waters with this, and meanwhile they have 30 games in development for other platforms.
But here's the problem with tell us everything. And again, this is where you get my experience from the inside of this part is if a game company tells everything, then if they cannot adhere or give you everything that was on that list, someone somewhere will remember that and be like, you fucking lied to us. How dare you? I am done with you. And it's like, we're sorry. We that's why we didn't promise everything. That's why, if you look, I never put dates on a lot of stuff when, like, I was told, hey, don't say dates for things that are coming, right? Like, if we're announcing DLC, unless my engineers have said, hey, it's going out in this next hour, I will not give you a date. I'll be like, it's sometime today. Good luck. keep an eye on our socials. You'll see most times for updates, you'll see the final words will be like, keep an eye on our socials.
Yeah. Well, here's a question that you might be able to answer. How long will a game be in development before it's announced for a system? Usually years, if not, months, if not years, right?
Yeah, I think it depends, honestly. How
long did the port job take for Ori to go over to the Switch?
I don't know. It was already ready
when I in like 4 months.
I'm not sure. Like, it was already ready when I got there, which I think was neat. And I don't know how long they had been working on it before. I can tell you that there are sometimes companies like Wizards of the Coast, like they're announcing sets that are like, hey, these sets are coming out in 5 years, right? Like, here's the next 5 years of sets, right? So I think it depends. I think it depends on the scope of the game, scope of the project, and hardware is always changing, right?
Yeah.
Like, no idea that some devs are like, oh yeah, we're actively working on Switch 2 games already, right? Like, no idea. We only heard about it now. So I don't know. You're right. Could be years, could be months. Depends on the scope and where it's coming to.
See, that's why I would love to interview someone from Microsoft and like ask questions that hopefully get real non-PR speak answers, although that's probably a wild dream, wishing one hand, shit in the other, see which one fills first. But
very true.
Like last year, Phil Spencer said that they're testing the water with 4 games. Starfield's not going. Indiana Jones isn't going. And then a few months later, Indiana Jones was announced. Was that in development when Phil Spencer said it was not? That's a question I want to know. Like, how long ahead of time did they know it was going to PlayStation before they told us? Was that an outright lie, or did that start development after he said that and after they tested the waters with the 4 games they did release? I'm curious. I want to know answers.
I think the problem with that is anytime somebody like Phil Spencer says anything, everyone's going to take that as word. I was like, this is God has spoken. And I'm not trying to say that Phil Spencer is God, but because he is such a prominent figure in the gaming industry, there are hardcore people that believe that. And so, I mean, you could be right. Like, it maybe was not even a thought in their mind. And then they're like, hey, see if these went over really well. And they're like, oh, really? Then, yeah. And somebody was like, hey, we can probably do indie this easy too. And it's like, well, fucking do it then. Like, you never know what happens behind these closed doors that high up, which I think is super interesting. And it's one of the reasons I'm always surprised by the gaming industry and happy for it. Like, I saw Forza was coming to PlayStation. I was like, that's fucking dope. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's so cool. Like, way to go.
I'm excited to see the player base just explode.
Yeah.
With that many new players. There's going to be dickheads all over the road ramming you. Look at all these level 1 people coming in now.
Easy wins right there.
That's just one of my dream questions I'd love to ask. My other dream question I want to ask someone at Microsoft is, when are we getting more backward compatibility titles? PlayStation's pumping out 2 new PS2 games a month. Why can't Xbox trickle out another 1 or 2 backward compatible games every now and then? Like, I have shelves full of 360 games that I can't play on Xbox One or Series. I would love them to reinvest in that program and bring more titles, especially Activision titles.
It'd be up, right? Yeah. I mean, they could do it now.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Like, going back to like the backwards compatibility thing, like, with the state that the catalog is in at this point, like, part of me is just like, yeah, I would like it if we could play every single Xbox game ever, but at the same time, part of me is just like, yeah, some of these I don't mind leaving in the past. Like, my oldest son, who is a big Godzilla fan, he discovered that there were Godzilla games released on the original Xbox back in like 2004, 2005-ish. And he's just like, oh my God, Dad, we got to get these, blah, blah, blah. But he hasn't seen any gameplay, doesn't know what you do in it, no, like, has no clue. And I was just like, oh yeah, like, I played some of those in college. Those were kind of fun. and he's like, can we see a trailer? And so I fired it up on YouTube. Like IGN still has a trailer that they uploaded like 15 years ago. And I watched it and I'm like, this thing looks like shit. And my kid is just like, Dad, we gotta get this game. And I go up on eBay and people want $60 for just the disc. And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. And and my kid's just like, I'm going to save up my money and then you can buy it for me and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, dude, you are going to be so disappointed when we fire this game up. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like, maybe we should just let some of these things die. I don't know.
How many of them have they brought back digitally as well? So they could bring them back, make them digital releases if possible.
That would be cool. But at that point, why not just do like a remaster or something?
Because it's a whole lot more work.
He's been playing Blinks the Time Sweeper because that was on digital backwards. And oh my goodness!
I want ZuAhKii playable on current gen. I love that. That'd be fun. From the original Xbox. Like, give me Magna Carta 2, El Chavo Kart. Oh, Jacob, you want My Horse and Me too, right?
Oh yeah, of course I do. Any game that involves horses, I need to have it for Xbox.
Yeah,
Mr. Hands.
Anyway,
is that a real thing, or
what? Mr. Hands? Oh yeah, Mr. Hands.
No, I meant the horse thing.
My Horse and Me too was a real game for 360.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joe owns a copy. He gave me his
love of horse things. Is that a real thing, or is that a joke?
It's ironic, yeah. But anytime that there's like a horse racing game or a horse riding game on Xbox, I always make Joe request it.
He does.
Okay. All right.
That's fair. I'm not gonna lie.
Quote unquote ironic.
Well, there's a dog game that is coming out in a couple of weeks that I saw the trailer for because it got posted up on True Achievements. I don't even remember what the thing's called, and I was like, wow, this looks like shit. I need to go request it from Joe. And so I message him, and he's just like, I told Ashley like 3 days ago you were going to request this game.
I believe it's a doggy up, by the way.
Something, I don't know.
Like
it's
that.
like you're a
I
dog.
request all the cat games. I was just
I'm not
clarifying.
Yeah, but your cat games, those are a lot of them are like hidden cats, like puzzle kind of games.
Yeah, a lot of those are good.
Yeah, those are quality.
A lot of horse games are not really good.
No, they're so many of them are so bad. They really are.
Unicorn Princess.
Yeah, I did.
Hell yeah.
Joe gave it to me for Christmas, if I remember correctly.
All right.
Probably.
It's either that or else I got it for review around Christmas and then you made me review it on the show. But either way, I got it.
All right.
We're like, hell yeah, we got, Unicorn Princess. And then they played it and they're like, oh, well, this sucks. My youngest, oh my God.
Merry Christmas, kids. Enjoy your fucking horse game.
My youngest was so pissed because the thing is that you run around as a horse 80% of the time. It's only during certain special parts that you get to tap into or get transported to the unicorn land or whatever. Oh man, he was so mad.
Anyway, going back to news a little. We mentioned the show that's coming out again this year. This time there is no last gen version. It is only coming out for PS5, Series X and S, and the Switch, and it will not be on Game Pass this time.
I was surprised on that one.
Maybe they're just testing to see how it does on the system as opposed to Game Pass, but I'm more disappointed that there's no collector edition this year. I liked having those steel books on my shelf, but I guess I'll have to do digital this year.
Well, they did announce the cover athletes for it. And Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates is one of them. And I was telling my dad, see, Dad, you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting a Skeens card if you buy me the Xbox version. He's like, no.
Good luck.
So, yeah, I'm just gonna have to get it on sale.
Yeah. Speaking of things going on sale, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is going to go on sale this August on the 28th.
Oh, nice.
I am so excited.
That apparently leaked via a PlayStation Store listing earlier today. And then the trailer was released. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Surprise, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics launched on Xbox this week. Fighting Collection 2 is slated to release May 18th on Switch, PS4, Steam, and Xbox. So Capcom got their stuff figured out. Xbox got their stuff figured out. And let's hope Mega Man Battle Network Collection is close behind, because I would love to see that on Xbox.
I have that collection on air quotes PS4, which plays on my PS5 just fine, and it's amazing. But I can't find my PS4 fight sticks. So I want it on Xbox. I'm like, put it on Xbox, and it's out now. But now I need to get it on Xbox, which is another whole other thing. So I'm like, now I gotta buy it. Come on.
Well, it's on sale for the first week, so there you go. Save $10.
All right.
Game Pass. There were a lot of Game Pass additions and departures over the past month. Last month, we got Lonely Mountain Snow Riders, Gigantic Rampage Edition, Starbound hit console and cloud, Eternal Strands, Orcs Must Die Death Trap, Shady Part of Me, Sniper Elite Resistance, Citizen Sleeper 2, Star Wars Vector, and Far Cry New Dawn. The games that left were Anucard, Broforce Forever, Darkest Dawn, Death's Door, Maquette, and Serious Sam, Siberian Mayhem. So that was February's lineup. What do you think? Or January? I can't talk.
Come to it.
I need to buy Maquette now. I didn't have time to finish it. Damn it.
Oh, no. That's the worst, when you're playing a game and then it leaves and you're just like, oh, no.
Yeah.
You're committed, though. You're gonna do it and you're committed.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It's respect.
First half of February was announced. A lot fewer titles than January got. Madden 25 joined on the 6th. And then next week on the 13th, we're getting Kingdom 2 Crowns returning to Game Pass.
Hell yes.
And then on February 18th, Avowed.
Oh, nice. I'm stoked for that one.
To Avowed. Kingdom 2 Crowns was like weird as hell.
That game is so good. I need to finish the new DLC.
Like, I remember reviewing it, and I had no clue what the hell I was doing the whole entire time.
Oh, that's totally understandable. It has a huge learning curve. I fell in love with that game, the music, the pixel art. I fell in love with it. It is one of my favorite, like, chill games. I'll just throw it on and just run back and forth managing everything. It's so good.
I just straight up get it, like, because I didn't understand how I was running back and forth between lands and forts and stuff, and suddenly, like, I'd go back to what I thought was my original camp, and like that place is like this huge castle now, and it was just bizarre. Yeah, I didn't know why, and the game doesn't explain it either.
No, it really gives you like a base tutorial, and then you got to kind of figure things out as you go along.
Use your brain, Jacob.
No, I don't want to.
Oh, well, I tried.
No, you didn't.
I put forth a little effort. Good.
Nice.
I'm excited about Avowed joining. I already bought the premium upgrade so I could play it early.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, like what, $20 to upgrade, right? If you're on Game Pass,
$24.99, something like that.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
I was going to buy the Steelbook edition of the game in stores, but I actually got the game for free through Mountain Dew.
What?
Yeah, they were doing their Game Fuel rewards, and you could collect points on either soda caps or the cases, the cardboard cases, the 12 packs or 24 packs. They have codes printed on the case, and you would enter them and redeem them. Some people bought full fucking Xboxes for free.
What?
Just by drinking a whole lot of Mountain Dew.
Do those points ever expire?
Yes, the program is already over.
Oh, shit.
Because they were giving out too many fucking Xboxes. Did you guys ever see the documentary about the guy that got enough Pepsi points to get a jet?
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, it's a good documentary.
I love that they let that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up getting Avowed and Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh, sick.
Just by drinking soda. Yay.
All I got were cavities.
Me too. Games leaving Game Pass. February 16th, we got a handful leaving this month. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, EA Sports UFC 3, Indivisible, A Little to the Left, Mergin Blade, Return to Grace, and Tales of Arise.
So many good games leaving.
Yeah, Return to Grace was good. That's a short one too. You can finish that pretty quickly. It's a couple hours.
Tales of
nice.
Arise
Indivisible was amazing, and so was Bloodstained. Those are like top tier games.
On the bright side, Game Pass Standard got 3 more games on the 5th, with Another Crab's Treasure, Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, and Starfield.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm shocked Starfield wasn't already part of it.
Because it's the whole Ultimate Standard divide now, with quote day one titles.
I really don't like this shit.
It's confusing.
Bothers me.
Anyway, PlayStation Plus for February, they announced 3 new games for their lineup, with Payday 3, High on Life, and Pac-Man World Repack.
At least one good game there.
Yeah, High on Life is good. Pac-Man's pretty good. Payday.
I downloaded Pac-Man.
What'd you think of Pac-Man?
I haven't played it yet. I'm waiting for my kid to play it first.
That's fair.
But if I turn on the PS5, he's like, "Oh, Astrobot." I'm like, "All right, I guess we're playing Astrobot for a couple hours." I mean, right? Yeah, fair, absolutely fair.
Yeah.
But I want to get through Plucky Squire. I want to get through Plucky Squire so that I can play other games. But he's like, "But Astrobot, yeah."
Some sad news though. PS4 games will no longer be a regular PS Plus offering starting January 2026. So you got one more year of regular PS4 games, and then they'll just be occasional offerings.
Yep.
That's a shame. They have a lot of good games on the PS4.
Yeah.
It's a shame that's ending.
Well. Sony is providing in-game incentives for PC gamers who link their PC games to their PSN account, which is now becoming an optional feature. No more mandatory PSN account on PC.
Yes, thank fuck.
Yeah, it's not for all games. I think for right now, it's things like Spider-Man 2, Last of Us 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, and
I think I'm pretty sure it's still required if there's a multiplayer component because
I think like Helldivers still or stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least for some games they're getting rid of the requirement, and you get bonuses if you do connect your profile.
Nice.
Like in-game outfits or bonus credits and stuff, whatever. Split screen is finally coming to the Series S in Baldur's Gate 3.
Ooh.
Neat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
Very cool for the Series S owners. Let's get to the shitty news. Layoffs are happening at Hi-Res Studios, with tons of people on Reddit confirming they've been let go. They are known for their work on Smite and Paladins.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah. That's basically breaking news as of a few hours ago.
Oh,
that
man.
started popping up, yeah.
I had seen yesterday that Iron Galaxy cut a bunch of folks in the, quote, last-ditch effort, which is actually kind of frightening for both. One, it sucks to let people go. 2, that they're like, this is our last-ditch effort. Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
And I worked with those guys on Killer Instinct, and they were the nicest group of folks. Like, they were amazing to work with, and I love everything they put out, the reports they work on. So my heart definitely went out to them.
It sucks seeing all these layoffs. I think they said Bandai Namco went through a restructuring with like 100 people getting laid off. Apparently Sony's doing some restructuring with people getting laid off.
Oof.
It's
BioWare
everywhere.
Yeah, EA BioWare just had some layoffs while they're restructuring towards Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I think Ubisoft also.
Oh,
yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
They had 3 site studio closures. Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago, and a bunch of layoffs. Yeah.
Rough.
Oh, damn.
Oh man, Resident Evil Reverse is ending service June 29th and will be removed from stores on March 3rd along with the DLC.
Is that which one's that? Which one's that one? The one
That was the one that came with Village.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
just a multiplayer component, and from what I understand, it wasn't particularly
It wasn't good.
No.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Right.
I'm actually surprised it wasn't gotten rid of a while ago, actually. I didn't realize it was
I didn't even know it was a
still
thing.
functioning.
So,
No, one other game that's getting shut down May 30th after Season 5 ends is Multiverses. The game will be playable offline only.
I saw that, and like that was a game that I played the hell out of the beta. That beta lasted a long time. I played it a bunch. My kid played it a bunch. And then when it dropped after about a year, I was really into it for like 2 weeks. And then every other game came out. And I was like, I'm going to play all these other games. And it was a bummer to watch that player base drop.
Yeah. It's a shame. But it seems like ever since they did the beta and then took a break and came back, it just wasn't the same.
Yeah. I mean, that was a long break, too. Like, that was a year-long break, which I think is kind of a long time.
Yeah.
Personally, it's my opinion that's a long time to go from beta to full release. I guess to have a break that long between beta and full release.
Yeah. It only hurt it in the long run, and now after it's not even out a full year. I don't know. It's a shame.
I'm surprised that like they didn't try to do more with it, like more characters. Like there was never was there even a retail release for it? Like, I don't know.
Like, so.
I don't know. It just, to me, the whole thing just reeked of Warner Brothers. Like, how can we leverage our IPs for crap? And then they just never did anything. The one girl from Game of Thrones. I don't even think she ever even made it into the thing, even despite the fact that she was shown
Arya?
from the
I'm pretty
early.
sure she's in there.
Yeah, Arya's in there.
I thought she wasn't.
No,
Nope.
she's there.
Oh, maybe it's a different character I'm thinking of.
I think was it Gandalf was advertised, and then the Lord of the Rings rights shakeup happened, and that fell through.
Oof. Good old shakeups.
I think that one happened, but I don't know. Anyway, the last bit of news I have is some rumors. The current rumor is that Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth are all going to be announced for Xbox sometime this year, with 16 releasing in the spring, Remake launching later this year, and Rebirth next year. And then that would lead to Part 3 being multi-platform for Xbox, PlayStation, and presumably Switch 2.
If even a fragment of that is true, I am fucking excited. Finally, I get to play the fucking games I've wanted to play years.
Yeah, it'd be nice if that's
I'm so
true.
happy.
They're just rumors.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
keep that in
just
mind. Take
rumors.
it with a grain of salt. But if
But
it's
I
true,
don't believe
good.
any
You know,
of
be
them,
hopeful. I will. You know what? I love salt, so I'm going to take that grain of salt and just stick it right in my veins. Just
Sounds good.
inject the salt.
All right, you be hopeful enough for both of us.
I'm down to
'cause
do it.
I have no hope.
all right, Aki, what news do you have? Anything saved up?
Yes, actually, I have
What?
one for now and one for with Bri. Yeah, I actually have something. It's a fucking miracle. They have recently announced that Onimusha 2 remake is coming out later this year, and I am so fucking hyped. And I'm pretty sure it's coming on everything. So, yay!
How are
I
you?
can't wait. I fucking love Onimusha games. So, woot. That's my major one. The next one will be with Bri.
All right, Bri, what news do you have?
Bear in mind, a lot of this news is like a couple weeks old at this point. I've been taking notes over the break, and I have a bunch of just like random stuff. Midnight Society, the studio formerly associated with Dr. Disrespect, they are closing their doors and no longer producing their game.
Whoa.
Let's see. Sega filed trademarks for Echo the Dolphin.
Oh,
You're leaving out one.
Oh, did I miss something?
Skies of Arcadia.
Oh,
they did.
Yep.
I'm excited about that one. That's the one I thought you were going to mention.
No, I missed that. Let's see. There was some Herman Holst stepped down as CEO of PlayStation. They've got someone new, but then he's staying around until April, and he's over the. I don't know. It's a whole thing, but they've got some new some shakeup at the top there at PlayStation. So they've got some new people in charge. My notes are all jumbled and I can't read them. That was great news. I'm totally on top of it. Let's see. Don't Nod delayed tape 2 of Lost Records Bloom and Rage to April 15th. Tape 1 will still release on February 18th.
Very nice.
We had the Xbox Developer Direct where they talked about 4 games. Team Ninja is putting out Ninja Gaiden 4. And that's pretty exciting.
That's right. I forgot that happened while I was at MagFest.
And they shadow dropped Ninja Gaiden 2 Black onto Game Pass.
That was super cool for them to do that. Like to showcase one that Team Ninja's doing a new Ninja Gaiden, but then also being like, oh, by the way, here's this dope ass shadow drop. I thought that was super rad.
Yeah.
And on Game Pass.
They showed a little more of Compulsion Games South of Midnight. They talked about the combat so where they're doing like a spindle and distaff because she's like a supernatural weaver. And they have an April 8th release, and it'll be on Game Pass. I think that was the running theme is it'll be on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. That game
they
so
showed
good.
off more of Sandfall Interactive's Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which I'm super hyped about now. I was kind of like, all right, this looks interesting. But then I saw everything at the Developer Direct, and now I'm like totally on board for it. It's
Same.
RPG in Fantasy France. And the characters are overcoming this existential threat, dealing with grief and loss. It's got turn-based combat with real-time events like dodging and parrying, and it'll be out April 24th, which is like really soon to me right now because
I can't wait. It looks so good.
And then they also announced, or showed the release date and a little more info on Doom: The Dark Ages. Which is a prequel to Doom 2016, and it'll be out May 15th. That was cool.
That one I don't trust fully. Like,
no.
What do you mean you don't trust it?
Doom. 2016's Doom was good, and I liked it. And then the next one they made had just too much stuff in it that you had to keep track of. And I'm worried that this is going to be going along that same lines, and it's like there was way too much stuff. There was a whole bunch of different type of weapons that you had to use to get different resources. Like there was one for health, there was one for armor, there was one to get ammo, and you had to use all these different things in order just to refill shit because apparently there weren't any ammo boxes around or some shit. And it's like that there was just too much that you had to keep track of, especially if you were in the middle of a firefight. And I'm worried that this game is going to be much like that with just too much shit going on. So I just don't trust it, sadly. Like,
I mean, that's fair.
If it goes back to being 2016 type, it's going to be so awesome. But I don't think they're going to go backwards with that kind of stuff.
That's fair.
But shield bashing.
True.
I do like the visual design of it. It looks really fucking awesome. But it makes me sad because there's if it's like the second game, there's no way I'm going to be able to actually play that properly.
All right, Bri, what else you got?
That's we also got the announcement of the Switch 2 officially. They didn't show us too much, but there's a lot of speculation based on the video. We'll know more on April 2nd when they do the Nintendo Direct.
I thought we talked about that during the January episode.
Did we? I don't know. I still had it in my notes, but yeah.
The January episode. Just one.
I thought it was like the next day, but yeah.
It might have been. I don't know. I can't remember that far back.
Yeah.
So I show my kid the trailer. I show my kid the trailer for that game or for that And he goes, Dad, we got to get this. I'm like, first of all, you already have a Switch that you use. Second, you don't bring any money into this house, so no. He's like, we got to get it. I was like, I don't have to do anything. You are my child. But I respect the moxie. He's like, hey, you got to get it. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Don't make the rules, Dad. You got to buy it.
I know. It's freaking kids.
Yeah. Let's see.
I still don't like the name.
You don't?
No.
Did you want Super Nintendo Switch?
Anything would have been better than just a number fucking 2. They went the lazy Sony route of naming their system.
Switch 360?
I like the Sony route.
I think the Switch U would have been better.
No.
Than the Switch 2.
Because it worked so well for Wii U? Come on. Sorry, that was... I'm mad at that because I spent a bunch of money buying that console and a bunch of games for my wife for her, I think it was for her birthday or Christmas or Valentine's, something. I spent a bunch of money, like months before they were like, oh, we're no longer supporting this. I was so mad. You wanted the worst part? I bought it from a friend who was working at Nintendo, who helped me get it with a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Couldn't say, hey, wait a while. Couldn't give me a reason why you couldn't meet me that day. Come on.
Might want to wait a few weeks on this one.
Right? Come on.
Oh, bad.
Somebody's like, I want to buy this game you worked on. I'm like, why don't you wait 2.5 weeks before it goes on sale? I look out for my friends. I was so mad. That's why I have a vendetta against the Wii U.
What else, Bri?
Let's see. The Los Angeles wildfires were, big other news, but a lot of game studios have pledged support, and Sony Group Corporation donated $5 million to help with the Los Angeles wildfires.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's super cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome. One of the aforementioned leads that I was discussing about my unemployment earlier was like, he's like, oh, I want you to talk to one of our directors. However, he lost his house in the fire, so maybe a while before you actually talk to him. I'm like, oh yeah, you tell him to take his time. Like,
yeah,
that's more important to deal with in my unemployment right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually watched a super cool stream, not exactly game related, but Alex Hirsch, who did Gravity Falls, did a charity stream for it. It was super fun to watch. They had all cool stuff. Yeah, it was wild fun.
I love him. My kid has rediscovered Gravity Falls, so I get to watch it all over again with him, and I love that show so much.
I just got the Book of Bill for Christmas and just had reread that, and they were showing like cutting room floor kind of stuff, like things that didn't make it in the book. And,
that's cool.
And just as incentives when they hit different marks, and I think they raised like a good amount of money. So yeah, that was fun.
That's rad.
Little Gator Game, a game I think is just darling, is getting a full-size DLC called In the Dark, where you play in underground caves, and it'll be available on all platforms. Maybe already out. I don't have a date in my notes.
That's exciting. Awesome. That's a really fun. That's a really fun and chill game.
That is.
It really is. So I'm
like
looking forward to diving back into that one. Yeah. My last bit of news is After Dark.
Oh, hold on.
SML After Dark.
Yeah.
The recent Consumer Electronics Show were some video games controlled by sex toys.
Oh.
And wow. I've sent the article to AquaRun, and now AquaRun is going to probably tell us all about it.
Yeah, if we want to hear it. Yeah, sure.
Oh no!
I told you there was one I was doing with Bri. Did you think it was?
Pernell, are you excited for this?
No.
Good. So it doesn't appear like the toys themselves actually control the game.
Right.
There's an app that you connect to your controller that also connects to your toy of choice, and as you're playing games and stuff, it will also be controlling the toy at the same time.
You play the game, and the game plays you.
Yeah, imagine the combo with that and the scent box. You put the two of those together.
One of the quotes from the article that AquaRun loved was, "My boyfriend's a gamer. I'm more of a rider."
Yeah, and the reason why that was brought up was because at the show they had a basically a Sabian hooked up, and that's why that was said, and it's fantastic.
What's the Sabian Aki?
You don't know what it... You poor sweet summer child. I cannot explain that on here because that
Why not, Aki?
definitely get us banned.
Teach the class, Aki.
There's got to be a way to say what it is.
You just can't discuss it without telling us.
Hold on. I'll do it again. SML After Dark.
Anyone with kids, please cover their ears. Okay.
Why are kids listening to this show? Why is anyone listening to this show?
Very true. One more time.
I question that too.
After Dark.
Okay, so basically, it's a vibrator that
I like how you're almost whispering it.
Well, that's because my grandparents are in the next room. I really don't want to be yelling.
Aki, we can barely hear you. You need to speak up.
No. So, yeah. And it's basically the size of like a pillow. And you can sit on it and it vibrates. And it can get very, very, very strong. And yeah, it's a fantastic, very expensive toy.
How would you know that it's fantastic?
I knew you'd come!
Multiple times.
So, gunpla and these things, huh? Interesting.
So what else? Anything else about this toy?
No, not really. That's all I have to say about that because I'm not going into any further detail. But so I have plenty I can, but I'm not going to. So it doesn't
I just want you to know I know what they are. I just wanted you to talk about it.
I hate you. But it doesn't only connect to that toy and the app, because that's what it really was. It was an app for the phone. It's called Fluffer, which is hilarious.
Oh my god!
But it connects to a multitude. Yeah, it connects to a multitude of toys.
A multitude? Can it connect up multiple at once? Like, can you control an orgy at the push of a button?
Specify. They did not say that, but
bring that to MagFest.
I would venture a guess, probably. It probably could, but they didn't specify.
Roast himself at MagFest.
I mean, you had to have fun somehow, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did mention that it was used on a wide range of toys. I assume it can probably be connected to any Bluetooth enabled toy. So any LoveSense type toy would be functional with this. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So that way, if you have a partner and they're always pissy at you for playing video games, well, now they may not hate it as much if you get
play
this.
With me, honey.
Exactly. So yeah, it was really interesting. I love when stuff like that.
Hey, we always had Rez with the trance vibrator. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, buddy.
And there's a lot of Steam games that actually work with LoveSense too. So.
Bri, any other news on your end, or was that it?
No, that was the end of my news.
All right, Mike. Any news you want to talk about?
I heard Switch 2 is what got announced.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I also heard that there's a sex game that you can control with an app. And it's still all the Bri's news.
Hold on. SML After Dark. Now go ahead, tell that one.
I heard there's a sex game you can control with an app that was showed off at CES. I was saying earlier that I am so bombarded with doom scrolling that I have ignored most gaming news, with the exception of like big things that hit my plate, like the IllFonic layoffs, or Switch 2. So I've not really kept up. I enjoy hearing the news from you all, though, and I feel like I can just contribute my oohs and ahs to those.
Well, we got one person left for news, and this is always the scary one. Jacob, what do you have?
Well, I actually have a bunch of stuff.
Fuck.
Oh, shut up.
That he pulled together at the last second.
No, I didn't. I've been posting this stuff to the SML Facebook page for weeks, okay? And then I pulled it up at the last second.
There you
Anyway. So Steam has now added a warning that flags potentially abandoned early access games.
Oh,
So
I
if
like
it's not, if it hasn't been in, if they haven't released any kind of updates or any like dev, like, hey guys, this is what we're doing, then there's now a warning that say that, it may not release on the same timeline that they said. Good Old Games has now a community wish list that they're using to pressure IP holders. And it seems like Digimon is going to be one of the first ones that may get actually worked on because of this. There's some sort of Digimon game that got released on PC over in South Korea. And apparently Bandai, I guess, is going to go to work on it. So
that's amazing.
Did we talk about 2K Games firing their studio head, Michael Condrey?
No.
Project Ethos got revealed and nobody cared, and so he's out. So there's that. Rooster Teeth is now back from the dead with Bernie Burns in charge, and they still have most of their original assets.
That's
so
good.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
That'll be real interesting to see what happens with it. But apparently they're also going to sell. They're looking to sell off Red versus Blue Warner Brothers Discovery is looking to sell off Red versus Blue, so they're probably just going to get it right back.
Nice.
And then Joe,
Disney Dreamlight Valley.
No, oh my God, guys, I wasn't even actually going to bring that up. I didn't even think about it.
Ones.
Horror Acolyte said, how many Disney Dreamlight Valley updates were there in the last couple of months?
4, probably?
No, just like one. I mean, it was the one that
new ones planned, though, that are coming out. I'm excited about.
Yeah, but I discussed those back like...
Yeah, but Alice in Wonderland is coming out in spring. That's nice. My jam.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and then we have Aladdin coming out like this summer, I think.
Mm-hmm. No, that's supposed to be even earlier.
I haven't looked at the timeline. I was too busy focused. I really haven't. Like, I was too focused on the Star Path because I was busy getting all of the items that you could unlock, including the bonus items. And then once I got the final item, which was the house, like the Winter Wonderland house that you could unlock, I was just like, I'm done for the time being. So I haven't actually fired that game up for about a week now.
Wow.
I'm just taking a break. You guys know I'll be right back at it.
How long are you going to play that game?
Exactly.
What about Movie Watch? Anything for Movie Watch?
It's Movie Watch. There.
So
there you go, Jacob. I played the fucking clip for you. Now do something.
Thank you.
Dance, monkey, dance.
So that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 game that Bri was talking about earlier, it's getting a movie.
Oh,
it's not even out yet.
Really?
Yeah, they've already announced that it's getting a movie.
It's a good story for it.
So that's all we know, though.
Interesting. Okay.
They're working on a Sleeping Dogs movie. The guy from Shang-Chi, he is working to get the movie up on the big screen. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Simu Liu? I'm bastardizing his name, I guarantee it. But the star of Shang-Chi is going to try to make a movie out of it.
Oh, I thought he was supposed to be the main character. Okay.
Well, I think he's probably going to try to produce and star in it.
Nice.
We're getting another Resident Evil reboot.
Another?
Yep. Because nobody cared about Welcome to Raccoon City, which is fair. because that was, as the youth say, mid. So the guy who directed Barbarian, I'm not familiar with that movie.
Oh,
It's
Zach
really
Kreger.
messed up.
Yeah, he is. He's going to write and direct, and there's apparently 4 studios fighting over who's going to be releasing it. Warner Brothers and Netflix are among the ones trying to get it.
I love that he's originally from The Whitest Kids You Know. Now he's doing horror shit.
I'm sorry, what?
He's from Whitest Kids You Know.
Zach? Hold on. How the heck do you spell his last name? Shit, I just got rid of the article.
Cregger.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god! Yeah, Dang, I didn't realize that was him.
Yep.
Oh my god! Wow, man, I loved Whitest Kids You Know. That was a great show.
Oh, yeah. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked
Speaking
up.
of shows, I do have some TV news.
Ooh.
Hey, hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. Is this going to be about Elliot Page and Beyond Two Souls?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, Elliot Page is going to be making a TV show out of Beyond Two Souls.
All right.
Okay. Now on to your TV news.
Yeah, because of the Los Angeles wildfires, Fallout is delayed.
Oh,
season 2 of Fallout.
Fair.
They were just starting to film and getting prepared to do the bulk of their filming starting in January, and unfortunately that is delayed. So there may be we may not see season 2 until next year.
oh man.
Yeah.
Sucks, but
Bummer.
understandable.
Yeah.
Announced today, Hasbro and Legendary are working to bring Magic the Gathering into movie and TV shows.
Interesting.
So they're going to make a movie first and then make a TV show, provided that it actually, doesn't suck. And the last bit of news I have, because of course it wouldn't be Movie Watch without some Sonic Movie Watch. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is already announced for 2027.
Wow.
Nice.
For an April release. And also Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is now the top live action video game or top grossing live action video game movie. Super Mario, like the Super Mario movie that Illumination did, is number 1 worldwide. And Sonic the Hedgehog is in second place for that.
Always the bridesmaid to Mario.
Wonder how close it actually is to like breaking that. I doubt it is, but
Isn't all of Sonic 3 on Twitter too? Didn't someone like tweet out the whole thing?
yeah, and it's still in movie theaters too.
That's
Wild.
amazing. All right,
Oh
I guess
yeah, it's not going to beat Super Mario. It hasn't pulled in 500 million yet.
Yet.
Yeah, but Mario, nah, because it's released everywhere at this point.
You gotta believe, Jacob.
I mean, Mario made $1 billion, so I don't.
Oh, well,
I don't-
yeah. Okay, never mind. Sonic's fucked. I guess that's it for the news. Anything else, Jacob?
Nah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, that is it for the news. And Mike, we are going to let you get going. We have a bunch of reviews we got to tackle. I want to thank you for coming on, hanging out with us. Where can people keep up to date with you and what you're doing?
Well, first, I want to say thanks for having me. It was a blast sitting and chatting with you all after all these years. Much appreciated.
So happy it finally happened.
Yeah, you can find me across all social medias at the Mike Robles, all one word. That's where I spend most of my time. I'm usually on the blue sky tweeting about records or horror films or tweeting about my live stream.
Very cool. Everyone else, we're going to take a quick break. We will be back with more show in just a couple of seconds after a little musical interlude that I do every friggin' show. Does anyone have any final words to wrap up the interview?
Fucky wucky choo choo train.
Mike, you going to let that stand?
No notes.
I never returned.
One of
Fair.
these days we'll all do that. Just disappear and never come back.
Well, yeah, I'm sure at some point you will eventually die, and then no one else is going to take over the podcast. So at that point, yeah, we'll all leave probably. But until then, I suspect we will all, for the most part, be here fairly regularly because it's pretty fun.
I agree.
Even if sometimes I can't stand some of the people we work with, right, Jacob?
What are you talking about? You know you love this.
Sometimes it's not bad. It's not bad.
Sometimes it's not bad.
If only this was recording.
That's why I'm willing to say it now and not later.
It is recording. Welcome back, everyone. It's time for reviews. You just heard Aki's deep, dark secrets about the SML podcast and what we mean to her in life.
Absolutely nothing except for
we mean the world to Aki. We keep her day going. We keep her smiling.
I will
the joy in her heart she feels when Jacob says hello every day sets her heart aflutter with joy.
Actually, that's heart arrhythmia. Aki really needs to check that out.
Well, you got a snort out of her.
You didn't hear that. Oh, damn it.
Oh, we heard it. Just like we heard you saying how much you enjoy our company and our friendship.
No. I never said that. You're lying.
Bri?
Chat, does that sound like me? Does that sound like something I would say? Come on.
She said something akin to that.
No, I did not.
She was like, I love all of you so much. You make my day bright and beautiful.
No, what I said is I love video games and Bri's fantastic. That's what I said. And I guess technically, since Bri is part of the group, I guess technically, to some degree, that was saying the group is good. But only that part of the group.
The group keeps me going day to day.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I'm going to kneecap both of you one of these days.
So, first review to talk about tonight is Sniper Elite Resistance, developed and published by Rebellion, released January 30th on Xbox Series X and S, PS5, PC for $59.99, offering unparalleled sniping mechanics, stealth, and tactical third-person combat. Sniper Elite Resistance turns the attention of the award-winning series towards a hidden war far from the front lines, deep within the heart of occupied France. Aki, what is going on in Sniper Elite Resistance?
Okay, some of you might already understand where this is going, but in this, you play an elite. You might have guessed this. Sniper. Yeah. And you shoot people, hopefully in the face. Sometimes in the junk, because it's funny. You aren't playing as Carl in this game, which is the guy that you play in literally all the rest of them. Instead, you're playing as a guy named Henry Hawker. And I hate that last name. Yeah, I hate that name. And he is in France dealing with some Nazis and chemical weapons. You know, like lots of the games are, is dealing with chemical weapons and destroying them so the Nazis can't use them on people. This is set leading up to D-Day. And he's trying to stop some chemical weapons because this mad scientist has created them and he's put them on some super trains. So he can hit basically an entire chunk of landmass, the entire shore on one side of this area, because they're not sure exactly where the D-Day party is going to land. So they're like, we're just going to hit literally everything. And then it doesn't matter where they land. They're still going to die. So you have to stop that. Yay! It's great fun. You still got your X-ray kills. And you can set the frequency like always. There's still the different difficulties, including the authentic difficulty, which takes into consideration things like bullet drop and wind and all that fun stuff. which makes it extremely hard, but it's very rewarding to still shoot people at like 500 feet right in the nuts with a sniper rifle. It's still great. And yeah, most of the weapons you're going to be fairly familiar with because they're from all the prior games. I think there's a couple new sniper rifles, but they enact the exact same way as literally every other sniper rifle you've ever touched in these games, like the 30 of them that you've played with. So there's not a huge difference. The levels in this are a lot smaller than the fifth game was, which might sound like, oh, I don't get as much of an area to play with. But I personally thought 5, the levels were a bit too large. This one's a lot more compact, which is, I think, is better because it means you're not spending like, I don't know, 2.5, 3, 4 hours in a level wiping out every single enemy in the map. Instead, you're spending like a half hour to an hour in it, which is nice. There are 9 total levels, with the last one being just wiping out the main bad guy. Or is it 8 levels? 8 or 9? I can't remember. And yeah, it's real fun. I thoroughly enjoy these games. I think I put around 15, 20 hours into this game, I think, to beat it the first time. There is a survival mode that you unlock by picking up posters. There's one in each level, basically, and that unlocks a corresponding survival map where you just fight against waves of enemies. And there's also a multiplayer mode that I'm not really going to bother with because the multiplayer mode in these games I've never particularly enjoyed personally.
No.
Basically, it's a team deathmatch.
It has online co-op though, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Lots of these games do. So you can play through every level with one other person.
Cool. I'm going to make you drag me through the game.
I can do that. That's easy.
Nice.
And that's especially useful for things like authentic mode, because when you die, as long as the other person isn't close to combat, you can respawn on them pretty quickly.
Nice.
Kind of like the Halo games. So you don't want both people to be in the same area and dying, because authentic mode is extremely difficult. And there's always an achievement for playing through it in all of the games.
Did you get it?
I have not yet. There's someone that I tend to play these with, and I'm just waiting for him to pick up the game. So I could probably do it solo because I've done 1 or 2 of them solo, but I prefer to play with other people when I'm doing that because it's just a lot easier to fuck with. Because when I say it's hard, it's hard. They're extremely accurate at long range with even like side weapons, which are like assault rifles, SMGs and stuff, and they'll wipe you out obscenely fast. It is a very hard game on authentic. And sniping at a long distance in that mode is also extremely hard because of the bullet drop and everything else. So I tend to prefer to play with others when I'm doing that.
Well, we got to talk about price on this one. This comes in at $60. What are your thoughts on this compared to others in the series? And then we can also address the fact that it's on Game Pass if people want to check it out. What do you think of everything?
I think this is definitely worth that price. It is a bit shorter of a game. It's more comparable to probably the third game in length would be my guess. And I've reviewed all of them from, I think, 2 up, and they've all been worth playing. So I think it's definitely worth it. And if you're not sure if you're going to like it, because again, this is a lot of sniping. On easier difficulties, you can run and gun quite a bit of it, but it's still going to get you killed if you try to do that. So if you're not a patient person, this game's probably not for you. If you like stealth and sniping games, this is very absolute. You need this game. And yeah, hopefully we can work on the DLCs when they come out.
Cool. Horaculate is asking, can't you invade other people's games as well?
Yes, there is an invasion mode. I think that started with the prior game in the series. I think it's only 5 in this one that's had it, but basically you get to invade someone else's game and grief them as a Nazi sniper. It's not easy. It's really not easy to do that until you've leveled up quite a bit in it, because the character gets a lot more levels and therefore a lot more benefits than the Nazi does. They can also find you a lot faster and easier than you can find them. And it's even worse if 2 people are playing together, because then you have to get rid of both of them, and that's a bitch.
All right, well, moving on. Next game is Star Wars Episode 1, Jedi Power Battles. Developed and published by Aspyr, released January 23rd. Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5, PC for $19.99. Take back the Theed Palace in the Fast and Furious lightsaber action game. You have the power of the Force and your trusty lightsaber to help you ward off legions of battle droids, destroyer droids, assassins, and other creatures from Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Jacob, this is everyone's favorite Star Wars movie, so it's got to be the best Star Wars game, right?
What?
Tell us about it.
This is not everyone's favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah, of course it is. Everyone loves this one. Jar Jar, right?
I mean, to be honest, people have gone back and revisited the prequels, and they're like, compared to the sequel trilogy, this isn't as bad.
Tell us about the game.
So Jedi Power Battles is exactly that. You get to run around as a bunch of Jedi from Episode 1, and it's I didn't get to play this when it first came out. It was originally a PlayStation 1 game, and it is co-op multiplayer if you want, or you could just go at it alone. But originally, I think you only had Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and then you unlocked everyone. Well, Aspyr's done the nice thing, and they've just pretty much unlocked everybody. Along with added in some new things to it to keep things interesting and making you want to return. Apparently, Jar Jar is playable in this game, but you got to earn that one.
Oh.
But so you can run through the game as Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Captain Panaka, and Darth Maul, and I feel like I'm leaving out a couple of people.
Queen Amidala, Battle Droid.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, because my oldest was very excited to run around as a battle droid, and then he was like, "Oh wait, this sucks." So, which also, I mean, he's slowly getting the concept that just because something is a licensed game doesn't mean that it's that good. As he's getting older and, no longer being impressed by, it's Paw Patrol in this game, or, it's like Last Kids on Earth, like whatever. It's like, oh, they made a Star Wars game. Cool. Oh, wait, this stinks. And so now he's getting to experience all the frustration that we got to way back in the day. And this game is, it's a beat 'em up side scroller, except with Star Wars. And occasionally you get to hop into vehicles and run around and like blow up stuff in tanks, which is pretty cool. However, because again, it's like a platforming beat 'em up, like there are of course pits that you can fall into, and things that are like, just out of your view, which are killing you. And of course the camera sucks. And so, like, he's freaking out because it's just like, oh, I can't see what's shooting at me, Dad. You have to come over here so we can move the camera. And it's like, no, I'm taking care of my own shit, kid. Like, and yeah, it's just, is this a good game? But it's a fun game. Like, and I'm honestly like really glad that Aspyr's bringing back all these old, I don't want to go so far as to say classic games, but I'm glad that they're bringing them back so we have a chance to play them. The graphics, I mean, they look nice for something that they definitely upscaled, and it's fun to play as. It's frustrating to play as. Like, the very first boss that you come across, which is this like huge Trade Federation like droid thing. Like, honestly, if you're playing as Jedi, you can just straight up go get fucked. Like, but if you run around as the battle droid has the ability to shoot stuff, and so like you can stay back at a distance and like pop, pop, pop. Or it's more like pew, pew, pew. But yeah, so you can come up with interesting tactics that way. But as I said, is this a good game? Debatable. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. My son, not so much, but I think this is a great trip down memory lane. And if you didn't get a chance to play Jedi Power Battles back in the day, for $20, you really can't beat this. Especially with all the stuff that Aspyr threw in. Like almost everybody's unlocked from the start. And they also make changes too with it. Like one of the things is that you can decide what color of lightsaber you're going to play as with certain characters, because back when episode 1 came out, they didn't know, like, you know, it was just like, oh, well, yeah, we're just going to give Mace Windu like a blue lightsaber. Well, then, you know, Attack of the Clones happens and Samuel L. Jackson is like, I want a purple lightsaber. So, you know, because on screen in episode 1, we never actually see him ignite his lightsaber. And so the toy came with a blue lightsaber. The game had a blue lightsaber, but of course, once the next movie comes out, it's no longer correct. And so Aspyr actually went in and fixed that. So if you want to play with the original blue lightsaber, you can. If you want to play with a purple lightsaber, you can. Yeah, and there's a couple of other characters too that like they fixed their lightsabers for this game to what they were actually supposed to be. Because I think one of them had like a yellow lightsaber. But yeah, like, I'm having a blast with it. It's fun. Like, I really hope that they continue this and keep bringing out more of the episode 1 games, because honestly, I thought Battle for Naboo was underrated. And so I'm hoping that we'll get something like that. But, you know, janky controls aside, and, you know, at times some pretty bullshit levels, but there's fun to be had with this game.
All right, well, it's $20. We need an official verdict on Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles.
Cheap ass Jacob will actually support the $20 price tag on this. It's worth it, and it's good. Like, as I said, I fully support Aspyr bringing back all these old Star Wars games. I hope they do more.
Cool. All right, next game, Genso Manège, developed by Mages, published by PQube, released January 31st on Switch and Steam for $39.99. Follow Emma as she fights to reawaken her magical powers in order to aid a unique cast of characters, all of whom are trapped inside a traveling amusement park. Having lost memories from youth, Emma must rediscover her past through love and friendship in this stunning dreamlike fantasy otome. AquaRun, tell us about your time with this one.
Okay, so in this, you play as Emma, and you're out there to get a man. That's the style of game this is. So, you know, I'm sure most of you are probably already not listening anymore. Fair enough. In this, you play as a young girl. You're an amnesiac. Apparently, you and your mother were in Paris, and somehow the two of you went into drowning mode, and you were saved. Just you. And the people who saved you ended up basically adopting you because you have no daddy and your mom was not saved. So yay! You have a memento of hers, a little music box that's in the shape of a carousel, and because of that, you really like when circuses, festivals, what have you, carnivals come to town because you get to go and enjoy them. And it reminds you of your mom because of the music box. And yeah, the family that picked you up is Alice, the mom. I forgot the father's name because he's not particularly important. And then I'm just going to call him Arnold because that's easier to say than what his name actually is, who is a reporter and is a young man and also happens to be a love interest for your character. So yay, that's not creepy
what's his
at
real
all.
name?
Fuck. Arnaud, maybe?
Arnaud.
Huh?
It would probably be pronounced Arnaud. It's French.
Maybe. It's basically, it's almost Arnold, but there's a U instead of an OL. it's I don't like it. And he's a news reporter basically, and he happens to tell you one day that, hey, yeah, there's this little carnival in town. You should go visit because he knows you love the things. And you're like, yeah, that sounds great. Oh, and you happen to be a witch. I guess I should have probably mentioned that. However, you can't use your magic because you lost your little star pendant. Which kind of tells me you're not the witch. The pendant has magic and it lets you use magic. You don't have any. But, hey, whatever. But you go to the carnival and you meet a whole bunch of hunky dudes. And from there, you quickly realize that all of these guys are magically enslaved and they can't leave this place. They are stuck wherever the carnival is where they are because they cannot leave it. They literally have magical collars and chains connected to stuff. So that's great. Also, the little music box that you have, wow, look at that. The carousel at this place is the exact same one except for full size. What the fuck? So yeah, you get to try to free these guys, and by doing so, you go in a romance with whichever one you want to pick. There are 5 of them. There's Leon, who is
SML
the
After Dark.
Sure. It's going to be real awkward once I say this.
It doesn't get there, does it?
No. This is not an 18-plus game.
Oh, okay.
There's Leon, who is a guy who wears a bunny mascot costume and doesn't ever take off the mask. He's also amnesiac. There's Hugo, who basically runs the place, and he asks you to help free everybody. There's Serge, a tall, cold guy who's, really strong. There's Crier, a little bitch. I don't like Crier personally. And then there's Lucille? Again, another French name. It's hard to fucking pronounce it. Who is the mechanic and keeps everything running, basically. He's a homebody type. And
looking at the Steam page, I was going to ask you if you knew how to pronounce the place this game took place in.
I don't remember. And everything's running real slow, so...
There, it's in chat.
I think it's done in Reeve or something, is specifically the location.
The Foie du Rêve.
There you go. Good job, Bri.
She said it correct. She's better at French than I am. And yeah, so in this, you can choose one of the guys to romance to go down their path. And there's 2 different endings for each of the guys. There's the good end and the bad end for all of them. After you, I think you have to do all of the guys in the circus, and then you unlock the guy who's basically enacting as your brother. What the fuck did you say his name should be pronounced as? Bri?
Arnaud.
Arnaud. So then you get to unlock to romance him, I believe. And then after you get the good path with all of them, you get yet another path, which I assume is freeing them all. I haven't actually gotten there yet. And yeah, this game is lots of bright pastel colors and happiness and gumdrops. And that's just visual design and nothing else. Because here, let me tell you the very first scene in this entire game once you start it off. A bunch of armed people kill a bunch of people because they don't want to give up a magic carousel. And then it's all bright and colorful pastels.
So it's kind of dark with a bright and pastel shell?
Yeah, this is the brightest and most colorful pastel M&M? Shell. Sure?
An Easter M&M. They're like pastel on the outside, the shell, and then chocolate on the inside. It's dark. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Except for this is super dark chocolate, because all your romances are they're sad. Even on the good path, they're sad.
Oh,
because all of these guys, they're broken. These dudes are all broken. They all have their own issues. And obviously, with every guy...
Don't say too much, because I'm worried that might get into spoiler territory.
I'm not. But whatever guy you choose to go with, obviously your character is going to learn about them, about their issues, and going to try and heal them some of it. But that's not going to take back all of the crap. You know, they're still hurt. They're still going to be scars. And this game does not shy away from stuff like that. So it is an extremely dark, sad romance game wrapped up in this bright, colorful, cutesy, oh, this is made for little kids even type of coloring. It is very twisted to have made this look the way it does with that content.
Nice. Well, we got to talk price on this one. It is a $40 game on Steam and on Switch. What are your thoughts about this one?
I think it's worth it. I really am enjoying this game because I have not even finished my second full route yet. So I really like it. And you have to play through the entire game multiple times, at least once for each happy route. Whether you want to get the negative routes is up to you, but that's like 7 or 8 playthroughs just doing that. So, yeah, I think it's totally worth it.
Cool. All right, next up, Mika and the Witch's Mountain, developed by Chibig and Nukefist, published by Chibig, released January 22nd on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5 for $19.99. Mika and the Witch's Mountain is a fantasy adventure about an aspiring witch who delivers packages to the townspeople of a small island. Explore every cranny and soar through the sky with your magic broom. AquaRun and Bri, both of you played this. AquaRun, since you're Dark Mika, how about you tell us about normal Mika?
Okay. In this, you play as Mika, a young witch in training, and you are going to basically learn under this great, amazing witch. And her first lesson is, hey, come over here and look over the side of this bridge that has no railing. Oh, oops, I've pushed you off. Ta-ta! And that's your first lesson. Don't trust people, apparently. So you try to protect yourself, and you end up breaking your broom. Now you have to work with the tiny little town at the base of this place to get a broom that's strong enough to fly you back up there. Yay! Great for, teachers destroying personal private property and all. And yeah, you end up making money by becoming a delivery witch a la Kiki's Delivery Service, except for jank. And you start off with this incredibly crap broom that is slow and doesn't do much anything. And as you play through each act, you get a new and slightly better broom each time. Every act is basically you just filling out a delivery sheet. You start off doing deliveries for the delivery service, and then eventually just doing them because you're a good person and you like people. You do get rated for your deliveries. Each one has an amount of damage, amount of hearts, which if they get damaged, you take 1 heart away. Some of them only have 1 heart, but a lot of them at the beginning have multiple. So if you damage it, you get less than stellar performance review, basically. So you really want to keep them all at the big old green happy smiley face.
And I think some of them have like conditions, like that you can't get them wet or something like that. Like
yeah, some of them do. I'm not sure if that is just a base condition or if that also takes off a heart, because I just don't break the condition or damage the items. So it's not a particularly hard game, to be honest. So it's not too bad to just get perfect across the board. However, that is all the basis of the standard game, which I've talked about from the Steam release. However, some more has been added to this game, and I believe it was also added as free updates in the Steam game as well. You have been provided a few more outfits that you can get, a few more pins that you can get. I don't know where they're worn on the character because I've never fucking seen them, no matter what one I have equipped. And some more broom trails. So that's nice. You also, to get those, you have a brand new set of races that you can do. And basically one of the characters now has a little shop for some food. I don't remember what it is. Churros. And they want you to do churro races, which has you flying all over the place. And you really want to do these after you've beaten the game and you have the best broom, because they are timed and they are very tightly timed. It took me a number of tries to get some of these under the time necessary to get the trophy for it, because you have to get all the trophies for an achievement. But playing through some of these will also get you some of those outfits and pins that are brand new. And they're really kind of fun. There's also some extra little mini missions that you get. Like there's one for feeding some cats that are around the island that wasn't in the base game, and it's really cute because you get to pet them too.
Yay.
Yeah, there's also a dog. You can pet the dog. And yeah, it's just basically going around getting introduced to these people and doing little delivery quests for them. It's really cute. There are some... I don't necessarily want to call them collectibles because they're also deliveries. They're just not the normal set of deliveries for a specific act. Instead, they just open up and you get access to more and more of them as the acts continue, but they aren't counted towards your completion towards any specific act. So like there might be, like there was a TV that you have to figure out who it belongs to and deliver it to them. There was some kites 3 kites that you could find, stuff like that. And yeah, that's the basis of the game, yo.
Bri, what are your thoughts on it? Anything you want to chime in?
I liked the little bit that I got to play of it as far as like the progression with the brooms. You get new things available, like you get these air wells that you can like ride for speed and for height. Once you get like the first or it's the second broom you get, I guess. So that like unlocks more of the game as you go along. I kind of liked the idea that you had these little side quests, like AquaRun was saying about the kites, that give you a little bit of a break between just the deliveries, and the characters were really quirky. I enjoyed interacting with them. It's just like right in the beginning, there's like a little quest with like a grandpa, and he's like totally interested in keeping his fish because he can't go out to the sea anymore because he's too old, and it's just very, very cute, very chill game. So yeah,
this is an extremely chillax game.
Cool. Well, it clocks in at $20. Give me your thoughts.
I'm totally for it. I think it's a cute little game. It's really easy to 100%. Some of the achievements on the Xbox are currently broken, and by that I mean it gives you the achievements long before you actually should have the achievement. By a significant degree. I think I collected there's 100 little dolls that you can collect. I think I collected like 30 of them, and I got the achievement for collecting them all. So,
oh geez,
Wow.
yeah, I ended up collecting all of them
soon.
because I could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before that gets fixed.
yeah. There are videos and stuff of where they all are. I went and collected them all just because I could. But yeah, I think it's fun. I thought it was a really cute little game. It's easy to 100% for everybody. Even after it gets fixed, it'll be really easy to 100%. So I think
is asking if they fixed the crashing issues.
I didn't notice any crashing issues when I got into it, but no, actually I did. I had one small crash.
I had two times where the game crashed me back to the dashboard.
Yeah.
But only twice, and that's because the Xbox was running real hot. Yeah, no, it's really good about keeping your progress, and I'm wondering if that's why it gave me the achievements early, was because of that. Because it was immediately after jumping and continuing the game, suddenly it would just pop like 5 or 6 achievements, and it did that both times I did that. So
fun.
I think it just sometimes runs the system a little too hot and crashes it, but I don't think that's going to be something you're going to come across too often. I had 2, and I literally played it 2 entire days from the time I got up until basically I went to bed without turning the system off, and it only crashed twice. So I don't think crashing is going to be a big issue, thankfully.
All right. Well, next game to talk about is Cybertank 2, developed by Rapid Snail, published by Xitilon. There's a name we haven't heard from in a while. Released January 23rd on Xbox One, Series X and S, PS4, PS5, Switch, and Windows Store for $4.99 each. Bundle is available on Xbox with all 3 versions for $9.99. So if you like the stacks, there you go. Cybertank 2 is a challenging puzzle game which adds various mechanics on top of the Sokoban genre. Jacob, tell us about your time with Cybertank 2. Or stay muted.
There we go. Better?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, now I'm actually talking.
Jacob, tell us about Cybertank 2.
Well, Cybertank 2 is not, in fact, a real, tank, shoot 'em up game. I was a little disappointed by that. It's really more of a puzzle game with pretty much just stuff that's going to get in your way. So, I mean, technically there is tank combat because you are firing off your, little gun every once in a while. But most of it is spent just try to figure out how to get from point A to point B and just go from there. And a lot of the times you'll have to use your tank's gun to either move blocks or sometimes you do have to shoot the enemy tanks, but also, I mean, it's it's a lot of shooting blocks, whether it's these glass block, or I think they're supposed to be ice. But it's these little I don't know how. Yeah, it's just it's pretty much a Sokoban game, except you now get to shoot stuff instead of just moving around blocks. So, I mean, I liked it. It was a little bit more action oriented, but I mean, it's not the wildest game out there, but
it's got a cool visual style for it. I like the fact that they tried something different visually compared to a lot of Sokoban games.
Yeah, that we've been playing. There is a lot more to it than those, which is nice. And it's not a hard game to figure out, but some of the puzzles can be a little bit tricky, and so you're going to be doing a lot of trial and error throughout. And some of it's going to be I have to move these blocks so I can get across this ice river, or I have to ricochet my shot so then I can destroy this tank, which otherwise if I don't fire it at this angle, then it's going to kill me. There are a bunch of levels to it, and the difficulty isn't. I don't want to say the difficulty ramps up or anything like that. It definitely eases you in more than previous Sokoban titles that we've played on here, but it does cause you to have to like think, and like you're just going to end up doing a lot more trial and error with it. And the action aspect of it does keep it fresh, and it's like it just doesn't feel like, oh, I'm moving a robot again. Like,
yeah,
you know.
Horror Acolyte wants to know if you've gotten your AFIL of the other styles.
Well, this one's not made by AFIL Games.
No, but they did the other ones. We needed a good laugh there. Really.
But yeah. So I didn't mind it. I wish it was more like, you know, tanks blowing up other tanks. But the puzzle aspect was, you know, if you're going to get stuck playing a Sokorobot game, then at least you got this going with it.
Yeah. 45 levels. Do you think that's enough?
Yeah, I would say so.
Cool. Well, like, Cybertank 2 clocks in at $4.99 per platform. There's also the 3-pack on Xbox for $10. What are your thoughts on everything?
Hold on. What's the 3-pack?
Xbox One, Series X and S, Windows Store.
If you care that much about achievements, then yeah, go for the stack. Otherwise, just get one of the versions. But this one isn't going to break the bank on you, so that's a nice thing.
Cool. All right, next up is Dreamcore, developed by Montraluz, published by Tlön Industries, released January 23rd on Series X and S and Steam for $8.99. Step into the surreal with Dreamcore, a body cam styled psychological horror game that plunges you into the eerie beauty of liminal spaces. Unravel the mystery of Dreamcore's non-linear worlds and uncover its hidden secrets. Can you discover what lies beyond the edge of reality? Bri and AquaRun, both of you covered this one. Bri, start us off. What's Dreamcore?
So yeah, it's inspired by things like the back rooms. It deals with liminal spaces. It's kind of a grainy found footage style. Like you can zoom in and out and hear the video camera noise with it. You can turn off the CRT filter if that sort of thing bothers you. I thought the visuals were great. I forgot sometimes that I wasn't watching some real found footage because the graphics were consistently well done. The water in the first level was in the pools was done really well. There are only 2 levels to start with, Dream Pools and Eternal Suburbia, with the promise of 3 levels coming soon. One in summer, one in winter this year, and then one more the following year. Not 100% sure if these will be paid DLC or content updates for free. There is something online about early adopters getting them for free, but I'm not really sure how that works on Xbox, or if that works on Xbox, or if that was comment for something else. But yeah, in the first level, Dream Pools, you're in a seemingly infinite series of pools and tiled temples, and it's gorgeous. It uses sounds to help guide you, but paying attention to visual cues is important too. I found a flashlight that enabled me to get to places I couldn't go earlier, and then I found a basement. And after about an hour of getting very lost trying to find the exit, I found a completely different exit than what I was going for in the first place and found my way out. And I did this all on stream for 2 hours where everyone could see me lost like an idiot, of course. There's also this constant friend in the shape of a smiley face, giant ball that appears around corners, and he's kind of there to creep you out. But he doesn't like chase you or anything, although there was one point where he kept appearing behind me to block my path, which was good and creepy. In the Eternal Suburbia level, start waking up in a house, find yourself in a location with rolling hills and similar little houses with impossible geometry inside. And the external spaces are divided by white picket fences that stretch on forever. I kept following a path to what I believed was the exit, only to find a key and a mysterious picture of a door that matched none that I'd seen. And it goes on from there. The day-night cycle was a nice way to help break up the monotony of the endless parade of houses and fences. I would say part of like the horror of liminal spaces is the feeling of being lost. And and stuck and things not being right. But also in this, you can tell by some of the occasional scribbles on the wall, like you weren't the first one stuck here, which is kind of a good creepy thing. And just when you think you're done with Eternal Suburbia, there's another twist and there's more spaces to explore. And
Ooh.
yeah, I actually cannot find my way out of Eternal Suburbia. I got to a point where I think I'm really close to the end, but I just can't find my way out.
I don't think you're close to the end. I think it's going to trick you again.
But yeah, in Dream Pools, there was some occasional music that would like make me feel like I was on the right track. But otherwise, the hallways and spaces are empty to give you that harrowing feeling. In Eternal Suburbia, there's speakers everywhere, and they either play sirens or music like you might hear in Fallout, depending on the time of the day. I know Horror Acolyte also played this, and he confirmed that the placement of certain objects, like the flashlight, might be randomized in playthroughs. So that was interesting. But yeah, if you like things like the Backrooms, House of Leaves, you enjoy that liminal space horror, you might like this. It doesn't hold your hand, though. You really do need to pay attention for clues or luck. Luck is also helpful. I thought this was a good game. Like, it was the right amount of unsettling to just enjoy without anything chasing you. So that was good. AquaRun?
Nice. AquaRun, your thoughts?
I only played through the first level because it took me an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through the first level. Just because the thing is, the map is fucking huge, and the second level's even larger from what Bri has told me.
Yeah, the second level's even larger. Yeah,
and the layout of it changes, at least partially, where some things are located between playthroughs. So you can't just go, oh, I know where things are, go over here, grab the thing, and then go to the end. No, there's no doing that. You have to go and search, and it takes forever to find some of this stuff.
Yeah, horror got through the first level in 30 minutes with the power of luck. There you go.
That is, I hate you.
Oh no, I mean, I could see the exit and I could walk through every like avenue. And I'm like, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So I ended up backtracking to this one room with a bunch of different staircases attached to it, and I just like lucked out, finally found like the right one to get to the exit. But yeah, it was just absolutely maddening walking by the exit and being able to see the exit, and then you can't jump off the railings and just go down there.
I know, right?
And I'm like, but it's right there. It's right fucking there.
Yeah. And all the achievements that are currently in the game are just for the first 2 levels. So that also does not help whether we know whether the other levels are going to be DLC or free updates. I'm wondering if they'll add more achievements. Who knows? But I played through that first level, and then I was like, I know I missed at least one achievement in this level, and that means I have to restart the entire level and do this again. And I
missed 2 achievements in the first one. Yeah, but I feel like I understand it better now. So
I'm glad you do. Unlike Bri, I didn't hear any of the sounds or the visual stuff because I don't see or hear all that well. So I was just meandering around this place, and the sheer size of it, I don't think I even covered but maybe a third of it if I was lucky before I happened to finally find that damn flashlight and the exit very soon afterwards. I didn't even check a third of this place, I think. And it's like, once I got to that, I was like, I'm not sure if I really want to do this again. It took so long, and I had so many other games to play for this week. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this again. It's so long. And then Bri told me the flashlight moves, and I was like, even if it didn't, I don't know if... I was like, even if it didn't, I'm not sure I could find the fucking thing again. But it's like, God, this game's so big.
Well, as it stands, the game's $9. What do you two think?
I loved it. I was compelled to keep trying, even though I just I can't figure out that last area. I ran out of time, sadly, to go back and give it another try. But no, I really enjoyed this game. I think the price is right. I'm looking forward to seeing what the new content will be when it comes out. Yeah, I would say buy it.
Maki?
I think if you don't mind the fact that you might be spending hours and hours in a single level, I think the concept behind this is decently fun. So if you don't mind spending multiple hours in a single level and feeling super turned around constantly, I think this is definitely for you. If you're really not into the concept of that, this game I don't think is going to change that concept for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think it's a pretty good game. I liked it.
Cool. All right, time for some AFIL games. Let's start off with AquaRun, developed and published by AFIL Games. Released January 22nd on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5, and Windows Store for $4.99. Dive into the vibrant world of AquaRun, a fast-paced 2D pixel art platformer that tests your reflexes, precision, and determination. Inspired by the best hardcore platforming games, AquaRun challenges you to guide a fragile yet determined character through 40 meticulously designed levels filled with relentless obstacles, devious traps, and tricky platforms. Jacob and Bri, both of you played this. Jacob, start us off. What's AquaRun?
Whole lot of bullshit.
Whole lot of bullshit.
Oh my god. Like, it starts off so nice. And it's just like, do. Like, oh, okay. Here's how you jump. Here's how you dash. Yay. And then it just starts slowly introducing other mechanics, like these like little water blobs that kind of like a grappling hook kind of thing, and like you just have to like, you know, you jump onto one, it shoots you up a little bit, so you have to position yourself so you land on the next one, and then you grab like the next one to get up to like the certain levels, and that's cool. But then there are so many, like it suddenly just turns into this like precision platformer thing, and holy crap, it does not fool around when I say precision platformer. Like, it is so easy to die. Like, if you get a hair wrong on all these little spikes, boom, you're dead. Oh my god, it was so damn frustrating for me. Like, I just did not do well at this game at all. And it just, every single time I fired it up, it was like 10 minutes later, I'd be like, fuck this shit, I hate this. Like,
Bri, how did you do?
I did a lot better, apparently. I was
too.
a little worried that it was going to be like Duck Run, which is another AFIL game by ZuAhKii Studio. This one, is done by AFIL.
I believe this may be by ZuAhKii as well. It's just the Xbox page just lists it as developed by AFIL. Yeah. So I'm not sure how they do stuff.
I struggled with Duck Run. A couple of levels but there's very similar mechanics to it. But I actually did not struggle with AquaRun near as much, and I got through it pretty quickly. It was okay.
I liked it. I got through it pretty quick as well. I thought it was like an easy 20-minute completion.
Through all of you.
There were some like cool mechanics, like portals and things that you got through, which I thought was neat. I liked the achievement list. Had some interesting challenges to it. So like you complete a level without using a checkpoint, die to every obstacle in the game. There was one for getting through, like, I think certain levels, a certain amount of levels without dying, which I thought that was like a nice little touch. It wasn't just like finish this level, finish that level, die 50 times. There were a couple of those in there, but I thought the achievement list was pretty fun as well.
They had fun with the achievements. It wasn't just beat level 1, beat level 2, beat level 3.
Yeah.
Beat level 4. Beat level 5.
Nice. I would have appreciated that.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to beat the levels anyway. So
shut up.
$5. What do you two think of AquaRun?
Honestly, if you like precision platformers, then yeah, like go for it. I'm not good at those games. Needless to say.
Bri, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd say go for it. I had a pretty good time with it. So
I'm with you. I enjoyed this one. I think it's one of AFIL's better titles.
Yeah.
And ZuAhKii as well, I guess. I don't have that info in front of me, but
yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and we'll be talking about more AFIL games in the future, but we got 2 Sokorobot style AFIL games to talk about, with Stellar Docks, developed and published by AFIL Games, released January 29th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5, and Windows Store for $4.99. Embark on an interstellar puzzle adventure in Stellar Docks, a Sokorobot-inspired game with charming 2D pixel art. Guide an astronaut as they maneuver drones to their recharging docks across grid-based maps filled with logical challenges. Jacob, tell us about this one.
So this one, yeah, it's you're just moving this. You're this little
guy.
Yeah, you're this little astronaut guy who has to move around a bunch of stuff and get from point A to point B. It's not exactly the most complicated thing, but but like all the other Sokorobot titles, this is one of those things where you kind of have to plan out your moves, and it depends on how much you like these kind of puzzle things. Like it's a nice little sci-fi setting. Like the graphics are cute, you know. It's okay. Like I don't hate it, but it really depends on how much you like these kind of things. And don't mind like the difficulty ramping up. I mean, I don't know. I like this one felt more chill to me, which is weird because it's just like there really isn't a whole lot of difference between these kind of games, other than it's just like, do you want to play with a spaceman? Or in the next game, do you want to play it with a robot? Like, do you want to play?
Don't give spoilers yet.
Or
we gotta get to that one eventually.
Do you want to play it with like an elf mage? Like, how do you want to do it? Like, AFIL Games is making one for every single thing. Like, I have no doubt in my mind, within the next 6 months, we're gonna have like horse and car and like, I don't know
think
what
you
else.
Put me in one and call it Jokobon.
Yeah, we still need to have them do that. But
hey Phil,
yeah,
it's right there. We could do this. Like the SML game. Smokobon.
It's fine. Like do you like puzzle games? Then cool. Spend $5.
Now let's talk about Sokorobot, developed and published by AFIL Games, released January 15th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5 for $4.99. Sokorobot is a captivating puzzle game where you control an ingenious robot clearing and creating paths to reach the button that unlocks the next level. Combining classic puzzle mechanics with a futuristic setting, Sokorobot challenges players to think ahead and execute plans to conquer the levels. Is this any different than Stellar Docks?
I mean, it has a robot.
Anything else that differentiates it?
I mean, it's not as much of it's more of like a planetoid setting as opposed to a spaceship setting. So, you know,
I felt like it was a little. I haven't played Stellar Docks yet. I'll be playing that tomorrow. But it was, to me, it was very similar to Sokomage, where you have to.
Yeah, you have to hit the button.
You have to kind of create your own path.
I mean,
which was a
all
little different. But well, as opposed to just like there's you can bounce things into things. You actually have to like remove things and slide things into holes and stuff like that, which is a little bit different. Not my favorite. I didn't like Sokomage. and it was very similar style to that. So the difficulty level ramps up pretty quickly.
Yeah, as they usually do.
Yeah. Well, let's rank these as a 2 for Stellar Doc, Sokorobot. They're $5 each. Should people pick up one, either, both, neither? What do you think?
If you like these kind of games, then yeah, pick them both up. If you don't, then no.
Is it no or Nokobon?
They should make a Sokorobot games where you have to where it's like the anti-Sokorobot and then call it Nokobon.
I like the Jokobon idea better.
Well, yeah, I know, but
or Acolyte said you get a cat picture every time you complete a level. I could get 45 cat pictures.
Well, no. Because see, in Jokobon, you have to shove cats around.
But you unlock a picture when you win.
Well, yeah. But you have to shove them, and then you get a picture at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. We are making the game for them. All they have to do
Come
is
on, AFIL, let's do this. You could put my fat face in the game. No, I'm not.
That's pushing it.
Next game, Suikaiju, developed and published by Synnergy Circle Games, released January 15th on Xbox One, Series X and S for $3.99, Windows for $3.99, a bundle for both for $5.99. Plays a mad scientist with a goal of creating the biggest and mightiest kaiju of all time. Merge kaiju core as a fundamental material to trigger the evolution into bigger ones. Repeat this process until your kaiju can finally evolve. Can you make your little monster big enough to conquer the world? Bri, tell us about it.
Yeah, you have a cute little kaiju who wants to grow up and be a big, strong monster. And we do that by combining the different kaiju cores into bigger ones. Similar to a few games I've played before where you're dropping small balls into a playing field and you need to match them. Like 2 blues make a green, 2 greens make a purple, 2 purples make a red, and so on. Each time you make a match, the balls get bigger. I feel like we should just be like talking ball squad here.
Suika, isn't it? S-U-I-K.
Yeah.
So Suika plus kaiju, Suikaiju.
Yeah, and that's like it was like a watermelon game.
Yeah,
where you match melons. I've played a couple other style of games that I could also like put into that similar kind of category. Like Threes is kind of a similar concept, although you shuffle things to the side instead of dropping balls. But yeah,
dropping what?
Get dropping balls. I was waiting for that.
You're also playing with melons in this game, so you know.
Yeah.
I don't have a melon squad button, Jacob.
Yeah, I know, but I was giggling like every single time Bri was like, yeah, melons or balls.
Of course.
Hey, Jacob.
Of course.
Yes.
You big old dumb idiot.
That's fitting, actually.
Yeah, so like I said, each time you match the balls, they get bigger. You can sometimes get things to roll into each other with some careful placement of balls. Besides matching balls, you're making your kaiju bigger as a goal, and you can see your little kaiju on the left growing bigger as you match larger and larger cores. I found this to be really relaxing and an enjoyable game. I played it beyond the achievements, which are really fast to complete, by the way.
Yes, they are. I got a quick 1,000 in both versions of this. I was interested in this one. I figured $6. I get 2 games. I bought the bundle of both.
Yeah. And with this developer, I'd expect to see potential future title updates on this game. I think it's a good price.
Let's get to it. $4. Yeah. What do you think on this?
I would say buy it, and I played the Windows version, and I'd say pick where you want to play it, or both if you want the easy achievements, because it's a reasonable price.
Yeah,
and
$6
like I said,
for
just
2 games I think that's totally worth it.
Yeah, it's a cute Suika game. It was pretty enjoyable. Cool. So now we have a Suika game on Xbox that you can play.
Yay.
If you like everything. Yay.
All right, next up, ZuAhKii, developed and published by Omegamoon Sigma, available on iOS and Android as a free-to-play game. Think you can outsmart a cat? ZuAhKii is a mischievous feline with one goal, escaping her cage and unleashing her giant kittens. It's up to you to stop her before chaos ensues. Jacob, what is ZuAhKii?
So ZuAhKii is this, like, it's essentially like anti-brickle. You're trying to prevent this little cat from breaking out of this bigger square, and there's all these like little blocks that are preventing it. And as it bounces around and destroys the blocks, you have to be constantly replacing these blocks and hopefully trap the cat in its original square. And of course, like, the cat's bouncing around, and if you accidentally tap it, it starts going faster. And eventually it just starts freaking out and will start destroying everything. And if it makes it out of the rectangle, then, you know, it's game over for you. Honestly, like, as I'm describing it, it sounds a lot cooler than in practice. And, like, to be honest, the game, I really feel like, needs to be played on an iPad, not an iPhone, which is what I got to review it on. And because on an iPhone, it just felt like I was just tapping the cat constantly because, you know, me and my sausage fingers. And the boxes, like, they weren't generating quick enough, or I'd like just be tapping the cat by accident. And so it was really hard to replace all these boxes. Meanwhile, you're playing it on an iPad. The boxes are bigger. Like, if you've got bigger hands, you're going to do better on this. But yeah, it's like, the thing is that it's just like, I never felt like it was a bad game. But like, as soon as it was game over, I was like, all right, done. And then it's like, I might return to it later on. But it was just like, I never felt compelled to like keep like playing at it again and again and again. Like, it constantly felt like a one and done game. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I was more frustrated by that fact than anything. Because it's like, you're just inevitably going to lose without having actually feeling like you're achieving anything. And it's just like, your goal is to last as long as you can, obviously. But it's just like, the game frequently just like, it's over before you really feel like you got anything done. And so it's not a bad game, but it was just kind of like, Like, I mean, the devs tweaking it, because there were definitely some changes made while I've been playing it. Like, I'd set it down for a couple of days, come back, and like there'd be like some new graphics or like a new game over screen. So the dev is working on this game.
What kind of feedback would you give? Like, what would you tell him to do to make this a more enjoyable experience?
Slow down the damn cat. Like, at least at the start. Like, you know, make it feel like as if like you're like actually getting something done before you really unleash the chaos. Because it feels like the cat like just beats you too damn quickly, and so it's just kind of like, honestly, like, that's how I feel like it needs to work towards its difficulty, not like just instant chaos.
All right. Well, it is a free-to-play game. If you are enjoying it, you can pay $4.99 to remove all the ads in the game. Is this worth a download? Is this worth buying? What are your thoughts on ZuAhKii?
If you download it, I mean, first off, yeah, it's a free game. I wouldn't say no to downloading it. If you enjoy it, then yeah, definitely like lose the ads and support the dev. You know, but then, you know, figure out whether this is the kind of game that you want to feel like playing. Personally, it's not one that I was like going to sit on my phone and play all the time, but it's not like a bad, you know, diversion for like 1 or 2 minutes.
No. All right, well, we got one final game to discuss tonight, and that's an update. We're going to revisit Star Trek Legends, developed by Emerald City Games and QubicGames, published by QubicGames. It's one released back in December 25th. all platforms for $11.99. Last we talked about this game, it was not in a very good state. So tell us what has happened in the past month.
So this game actually released back in Christmas, and what was happening with it is that essentially the game would get to a point and then it would stop saving your game. And so it was like people online were like sinking like 15, 20 hours into this game, and then all of a sudden they just lose all their progress, which I was just like, holy crap, thank God I didn't make it this far. But the devs have worked on it. There's now cloud saving, and they did fix the saving glitch on it. I haven't had any issues with it since. I know some people up on True Achievements have said that like there's still like a slowdown with the game. I have yet to see it. I'm playing on an Xbox Series X, but I'm also not playing this game for like 4 or 5 hours at a time, which I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of bonkers for this game. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's entertaining. I've been playing it for like 1 or 2 hours at a clip. But yeah, so with this game, you are commanding various officers, or sorry, not officers. I mean, some of them are officers, but various characters throughout the Star Trek universe. Some of them are like, you've got characters pretty much up from like classic Trek to Star Trek Discovery. There's no characters from Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, or Prodigy for whatever reason. I don't know if it like it's because like they're tied up in other video games or something like that. I don't know. But the plot is like the Federation wants to go investigate the Nexus ribbon from the movie Star Trek Generations, and you get sucked in, you lose all your crew, and you have to like bring back some of your crew, and meanwhile you're also bringing back all these people who may or may not be like figments of the Nexus. It doesn't like the plot is paper thin. Like it really doesn't make sense. Like I'm halfway through the story. I don't like just sit there and enjoy it. So as you play, you can unlock more characters. Some of them are just like common characters, like here's a Cardassian medic, here is a Federation science officer. Other ones, like you're unlocking Saru from Star Trek Discovery, you're unlocking Picard from Next Generation, you're unlocking the Borg Queen. Like, holy crap. And some of these characters you're unlocking because you just can. Like, as you get like the stuff to like the currency to unlock characters. Other ones are rewards for passing certain goals or certain achievements in the game, and so it incentivizes you to get farther into the game. I will warn you, this is a bit of a grindy game. You really are going to want to figure out like pretty much just like get a regular team that you're good with. I'm sticking with like Michael Burnham, Commander Riker, Dr. McCoy. I have a random Borg guy that I've been using for tech, and Worf. And like I've just been using those for most of my stuff because like they each have like one of the very specific things or the traits, which depending on which story branch you take, you might need like the tech guy to do this one thing, but then that prevents you from using something that requires like the command presence. And so you'll have to replay the levels over and over again, which I'm not going to lie, like it's not bad. And eventually you're going to start figuring out like little strategies, with everyone's attacks and defenses that you can use. Congratulations guys. You got me into tactical strategy games. Like, I don't know if it's technically an RPG, like it might be, but congratulations, guys! You finally got me hooked on this kind of crap.
GG.
Yeah.
So and your updated verdict now that it's
hold on,
seemingly
hold on.
We're nearing like 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, shut up. I still. Damn it! There was something I wanted to discuss about this, and I don't remember what now. No, it's not haha, because like this is something I didn't get to cover. I didn't get to cover in my previous review, and now I don't remember what the heck I was about to talk about. Ugh, that pisses me off. Anyway, all right, so yeah. Now that I'm farther into the story, all right, now I do remember what it is. Now that I'm farther into the story and like I'm unlocking all these characters, I'll warn you right now, if you're a big Star Trek nerd, there is going to be a lot of crap that bothers the ever-living hell out of you, because certain characters, I mean, in my original review, I was like, they're having Dr. McCoy say stuff he would never have said in the show, blah, 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 blah. Well, there's other shit that I picked up on, because it's just like, you've got Worf running around in this one uniform saying like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. Well, how would you? Because you're wearing a uniform that is from before when you ran into this character. Or Riker, who is running around in a Next Generation outfit, but he's using a phaser rifle from the movies.
Nerd.
Oh, absolutely, because if anybody loves nitpicking, it's Star Trek fans. Like, there used to be, like, the Star Trek nitpickers guidebooks, and they would just point out, like, all the inconsistencies in all the different episodes. And McCoy, for whatever reason, they made him left-handed in this. He's not. He's a right-handed character. I picked up on that, and I was just like, what the heck, guys? Anyway, artistic license. But I'm having a blasty blast with this, so I would change my review now that they've fixed the whole save feature. I change it from a deny it to a buy it. I'm having a lot of fun, and I think it's like the Ultimate Edition version of this game is like, what, $20?
I think so, yeah, with the DLC.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I don't know, because I don't have the DLC.
It's just 6 character packs.
Yes, well, know.
$2 each.
Hey guys, somebody would like to review the
$1.99 each.
I would like to review some character packs, guys.
$1.99 per.
Anyways, the base game, I will definitely recommend as a buy it. I mean, the full edition, I don't know if I can, because I don't have those characters. So
$1.99. They're $1.99.
Devs, if you
each of the 6, each of
I love you.
$1.99. All right, that is it for this show. We made it through.
Yay!
Music. I'm gonna play something from Super Strikers since their MagFest concert just went up online. You could check it out. I'll include a link in the write-up. I'll see if Grant can hook us up with a song from this set, and if not, I'll play one of their other songs. So, what do you think of that?
I don't think that's too much effort.
I know it is. That is it for this episode. Thanks to you 3 for being here. Thanks to Mike Robles for coming on, chatting with us, keeping us company through the first half of the show. Does anybody have any legitimate, worthwhile final words to end the show?
Jeez, when you put it that way.
Cheat codes are great.
They are pretty nifty.
I concur.
Yeah. Up, down, left, right, BA, start.
welcome along with me the bad boy of VGM, his MagFest premiere, the Arkadian!
You